what is purported to be a draft opinion on Roe v. Wade.
The report in Politico says a majority of Supreme Court justices had thrown their support behind overturning the 1973 Roe versus Wade case that legalized abortion nationwide. This comes with many caveats. It's unclear if the draft is authentic, and it's unclear if the draft is authentic, if this represents the court's final word on the matter.
Such a leak has never occurred before, and there is a good deal of speculation on how and why it happened and who might be responsible. It didn't take long for demonstrators, both pro-life and pro-abortion, to gather outside the Supreme Court building last night. Indications that the war in Ukraine has taken a devastating toll not only on that country, but on Russia's armed forces.
The British Defence Ministry tweeted that Russia's military is now both materially and conceptually weaker as a result of its invasion of Ukraine. The tweet went on to say that Russia's forces will struggle to regain their strength as they will be exacerbated by sanctions. The ministry believed the result of the war on Russia's forces will have a lasting impact on its ability to deploy conventional military force. The tweet added that despite a much bigger military budget, Russia was still unable to dominate Ukraine. The ministry blames this on failures both in strategic planning and operational execution. Karen Chamas, London.
Watching Wall Street, stock futures have been moving between gains and losses this morning. Right now, they're in positive territory. The Dow futures up 50 points. NASDAQ futures ahead 35. S&P futures 9 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
The following is not an actor, but a real-life story from Trinity Debt Management.
The credit card debt happened when my daughter was born. I was using one credit card account to roll over into another credit card account, and it was snowballing.
If you're in debt and you need help, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976.
When I first called Trinity, the representative understood the need based on the situation. They were great people to work with. From the first phone call that I made, they had me on a track to mitigate the credit card debt.
Trinity will consolidate your accounts into one easy-to-manage monthly payment, reduce your interest, and possibly improve your credit score. You'll save thousands.
Working with Trinity gave me the ability to save thousands of dollars. My name's Doug, and thanks to Trinity, I'm debt-free for keeps.
Call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976. That's 1-800-990-6976.
Billions of dollars temporarily erased from the value of one of China's biggest businesses following reports that a man with the same name as the company's founder had been arrested.
Shares in Alibaba in Hong Kong fell by nearly 10% after Chinese state media said a Mr. Ma had been arrested in Hangzhou, a city where the internet firm has its headquarters. Alibaba was founded by Jack Ma. State media quickly made it clear that the news reports did not refer to the Alibaba founder, after which the shares rallied. The incident shows how willing investors were to believe that Jack Ma had been detained. The billionaire has kept a low profile and for several months disappeared from public view since criticising the Chinese government nearly 2 years ago.
The BBC's Michael Bristow. The European Union accusing Apple of abusing its dominant position by limiting access to technologies allowing touchless payments. Breaking news and analysis, townhall.com. How to cope with sky-high prices at the grocery store.
The personal finance website NerdWallet's been asking experts. A few of their suggestions: don't eat out too often. Plan your meals ahead so you can fight the temptation to order takeout at the last minute. Instead of buying pizza for delivery, you can buy a frozen pizza for a quarter of the cost. Spend more time cooking and substitute cheaper ingredients. Beans, for instance, are generally inexpensive, says an expert, who says you can serve them on their own or add them to salads or soups. And keep a few budget-friendly meals in the house. One expert suggests homemade pizza, frozen fish with fries, and a pasta dish. I'm Rita Foley.
Financial markets expect the Federal Reserve to announce a significant hike in short-term interest rates to bid to rein in raging inflation. Word from the Fed is due tomorrow. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number, and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Yeah.
Welcome to it.
Second day of the rest of your life.
Hope you're having a superb day thus far.
Indeed.
Hope it's well for you. Nice and warm.
It was brisk this morning. It was chilly.
Nice.
It was very nice.
It was crisp.
I opened my door and out loud to no one besides my cat said, "It's nice this morning."
It is kind of nice today. It was a nice change of pace. Waking up with a little crispness. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. I wouldn't kick it out of bed. Considering, okay, last night was a nightmare. Let me rephrase that. Last evening.
Okay.
I spent the majority of my evening trying to cool my house off from the day.
Oh.
Yeah. Once it got cool at night, it was still day hot in my house. So I opened windows, had the door open, sort of, because I had to watch for my cats. I made my fans work again. They weren't working. I got them to work again.
Nice.
Yeah, and was sitting in front of a fan trying to cool off. Finally, I went into my room at 8:15, just sat in front of my air conditioner, passed out at some ungodly 8:20. Completely wasted my evening. But yeah, it was a nightmare yesterday. Just trying to cool off. I have no idea how I'm going to make it through this summer. I'm going to have to get 3 new air conditioners.
Yeah. Maybe do something. Maybe
buy stock in XL.
There you go. Or move.
Or move. I kind of can't. I'm kind of stuck in a thing.
In a lease?
Yeah, I'm buying the trailer. So.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah.
Well, then, yeah, you ought to get an air conditioner or something.
Yeah, once finances work their way out.
Or make some. I've seen those things online where people make all their little air conditioners.
Yeah, I was eyeballing my Home Depot bucket thinking I could pull this off. It's not that hard.
All of them look so complicated for the output that they give out.
Not nearly as complicated. So I looked up because 2 of my 3 air conditioners are no longer blowing cool.
Okay.
So there's a leak.
These are window units?
Yes.
Or? Okay.
Yeah, they're no longer, so there's a leak in the coolant or they're out of it or something. So sure, I'm sure it's simple to recharge your air conditioner, kind of like it is in your car. Just get a little can of the thing and nope. The first thing it said was, check your local statutes to see if it's even legal to tamper with your air conditioner in your state.
I knew there was some of that going on, yeah.
I know because we're messing with Freon and stuff, but dang it. So yeah, I'm just going to have to.
Are these just cheapo window units?
No, they're window units. I mean,
are they the ones you buy at Walmart or whatever?
Yeah, pretty much.
Buy some more. What are they, $100 or whatever?
140 or so. So yeah, that's what it's looking like.
Just bite the bullet and replace them, man.
Yeah, I'm do the easy E thing. Throw them in the gutter and go get another,
Hey, it's the way of the world.
Pretty much. It's just sad we get 1 summer worth of use out of these ACs.
Yeah, it does seem like kind of garbage, but I don't know. I haven't dealt with one in years. I have a central air, so I don't mess with them.
Sorry, I'm bringing my paltry concerns to your ivory tower.
I just haven't had them in a while. I don't know. I mean, I haven't used one in a while.
Stand on my balcony. I scroll through my social media, looking at all the lives of all the sad people. I have a 60-inch screen.
Yeah. I'm a real fancy, highfalutin dude.
That's right.
I got air conditioner on my roof. What's up?
This is Second time this week I've heard the word highfalutin actually used. I was watching an episode of Raising Hope, and she goes, "What's another word for ostentatious?" And he stops and pauses for a long time. He's like, "Delicious." The end of the episode, he's like, highfalutin. It's another word for ostentatious. There you go.
Close and delicious.
So you learned something on radio, kids.
But happy Tuesday, everybody.
Yeah, welcome to it.
We actually have a full slate for you. Going on today, and I'm not sure if they're going to call in or not here in the next few minutes, but we'll see. Happening today, Roswell High is having a career fair going on from 8:30 to 12:30 this morning, and it's going to be in the Roswell High Big Gym. And we may have someone call in here at the start of the show just to kind of give us an update on what's going on there. Right after that, or before that, I don't know, during that, it's going to, but also happening this hour.
In addition
to, Robert Sherman's here with the Walker Aviation Museum, going to give us an update on what's happening out at the museum here, talk about more STEM-related stuff, and then, of course, getting people to come out and check out the museum as well.
That's right.
In the 8 o'clock hour, about 8:15, we're going to have some of the folks from Roswell Community Little Theater join us as their production of Clue
that's right.
gets underway this weekend and next. And by the way, speaking of Clue, I have a clue for you for today.
I'm just going to drop that bit.
Today's clue.
It's too many clues to keep track.
The bell can't handle it.
My finger can't keep up.
So I will give you the clue to the clue of the clue. If you know what I'm saying now,
we got it.
You're doing better than I am.
We got it.
No, we're going to get today's clue.
Ah, crap. Somebody come over and hit Mike upside the head.
He's broken. And then we'll have some of the cast of Clue joining us here to talk about Clue in the 8 o'clock hour. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, about 9:15, Joe Murphy with the Roswell Elks going to join us. They've got their 13th annual Elks for Vets charity golf tournament coming up June 4th. So Joe's going to give us all the info about that and get our golfers out there to sign up and participate in their golf tournament here in June. So
very good.
I don't think you have any clues.
You never hear about elk doing anything for the vets. I mean, the actual elk.
Oh, the animal?
I feel like the animals, the elk should get together and do something. I mean, God knows we've given enough credit and credence over the years.
They're busy avoiding a hunting season.
It's their turn to pay us back. Maybe avoid open roadways. I don't know, just little things.
What about
little elk concessions they could make?
Oh, that's the case. What are lions and eagles?
We'll address them later. Right now, we're dealing with the elk.
He's mad at the animal. I don't know why.
I just don't feel like they're doing enough. God knows we've done plenty for them.
Or have we? Depending on who you talk to. It is 7:13. Let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Still pretty warm today, but we do have a cold front edging in from the northeast, and that'll bring us gusty wind and lots of sunshine. Our high will stay in the upper 80s, and that wind gusting at 30 to 35 miles per hour through the day. Some clouds for the overnight hours, down to a low of 60 and windy, and then we're back up to the 90-degree mark on Wednesday, sunny and breezy. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 48 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 56%. Winds currently out of the northeast at 8 miles per hour. We do have a fire weather watch today, and that's going to take effect beginning at noon and remaining in effect through 8 p.m. this evening. They're saying there's a chance of some sprinkle. Yeah, slight chance of sprinkles this afternoon. They're saying after 3 today, we have a slight chance of sprinkles. Otherwise, sunny and 85 today. Winds will be breezy out of the east, 10 to 15 miles per hour. Later shifting to the south, increasing 20 to 25 miles per hour. And then for tonight, a slight chance of sprinkles before 9 p.m. So mostly cloudy with an overnight low of 58 otherwise. Winds will remain breezy out of the south. 20 to 25, dropping down 10 to 15 after midnight. Could see some wind gusts as high as 35 miles per hour, though, throughout the course of the evening. So Look for that and a sprinkle or two. For your Wednesday, mostly sunny, highs near 89. Winds will be out of the west, 10 to 15 miles per hour early, increase in 15 to 20 later in the day, gusting as high as 30 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, mostly clear with an overnight low of 52 degrees. Winds will be out of the northwest, 10 to 20 miles per hour. Thursday, sunny, highs in the upper 80s, 88 with northwest winds, 10 to 15 miles per hour. Friday, sunny skies, highs around 97, so we're going to warm right back up. And then for the weekend, we might have our first century mark for the week, or for the year, I'm sorry. Saturday, we might get 100. They're saying sunny and hot, high of 101 on Saturday, breezy as well. And then Sunday, they're talking areas of blowing dust, sunny and 96, windy as well, too. So it doesn't sound like the weekend's going to be very pleasant. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, at least not with the wind. I mean, if it's going to be 100 degrees and then windy, we'll see. I have no idea. All right, it is 7:16. Real quick before we take our break, get you into your Roswell Livestock Report recap, take a quick commercial break here. Do want to invite everyone out to the Liberty. Coming out to the Liberty here in Roswell Thursday, May 19th. Don't miss an evening with Grammy-winning Latin funk group Grupo Fantasma. That's going to be happening with special opening guest, slide guitarist legend here in town, Robin Scott, going to be with us as well on that night. Going to be a great show. Doors open at 6. Show starts at 7:30. Tickets are on sale now. Get them before they're gone. And for more information on how you could become a bona fide member of the Liberty, visit thelibertyinc.com and check out more there. Don't miss an evening with Latin funk band, Grammy Award-winning Grupo Fantasma, and Robin Scott, our local favorite here, also opening up for him Thursday, May 19th at the Liberty in Roswell. Get your tickets. Go visit thelibertyinc.com and check out this and all the other great shows and events happening at the Liberty. All right, it is 7:17. We're going to take about a 3.5-minute commercial break. We'll have your livestock report. Your livestock report recap with Smiley Wooten, quick break, and then Robert Sherman will join us on the other side here, and we'll talk all about Walker Aviation Museum. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Good morning, this is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. 1,171 head of cattle sold on Monday on an uneven market with excellent buyer attendance. Compared to last week, stocker calves sold steady to 3 higher, feeder cattle steady to 2 higher, packer cows and bulls steady to $3 lower, 3 to 400 pound steers 190, 206, 3 to 400 pound heifers 175, 177.50, 4 to 500 pound steers 187, 190, 4 to 500 pound heifers 160.50, 175, 5 to 600 pound steers 180.50, 189, 5 to 600 pound heifers 148.50, 160.50, 6 to 700 pound steers 155.50, 180.50, 6 to 700 pound heifers 137, 148.50, 7 to 800 pound steers 148.50, 155, 7 to 800 pound heifers 134, 137, packer cows 80 to 85, canner and cutter cows 67 to 77, packer bulls 90 to $1, feeder bulls 68 to 85, top half the cow calf pairs $1,100 to $1,475 per pair, top half the bred cows $900 to $1,050 per head. We do appreciate the business, and we'll talk to you next week. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
I have a snake for your drain. You might want to step back.
Oh no, baby.
All AC units moke a little. Is normal.
Oh no, baby.
Haha, now your sprinkler system's strong like bull.
Come on now. Don't let any fool work on your plumbing and air conditioning.
Fergalicious.
From clogged drains to sprinkler systems, Fergie's Plumbing and Heating is on the job. And who you gonna call for air filters and spring servicing on your AC unit?
Fergalicious.
Call Fergie's today, 622-2660. Nothing but love.
Fergalicious.
May the 4th be with you. Register for upcoming summer and fall classes at ENMU Roswell on Wednesday, May 4th in a Student Services Center on campus. Advisors can help you get registered and answer questions about financial aid and other support services. Enjoy snacks and prize giveaways, and may the 4th be with you. For more information, call 575-624-7294. Log on to roswell.enmu.edu.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. The education assistance I received made it possible for me to be the first person in my family to go to school and graduate debt-free. That education helped get me to the first day at my dream job, a job that I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job, plus the other benefits possible from the Army National Guard, helped me become a first-time homeowner. Also, part of my role as a National Guard soldier means I know that I can be one of the first to respond and help my community if disaster ever strikes. I'm extremely proud that I get to serve my community, and that first step I took by joining the Army National Guard has made all the difference in my life. Talk to your local recruiter or visit NationalGuard.com to find out what firsts are available to you in the Army National Guard.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Alaska is the only state name that can be typed on one row of keys. Go ahead and try typing the other 49 states. We'll wait. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 21 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Walker Aviation Museum, Robert Sherman back with us. Good morning, Robert.
Hey, Mike.
How you doing today?
I'm great.
Good. Of course, for folks that aren't familiar, Robert joins us here once a month and gives an update on what's happening at the Walker Aviation Museum, which for folks that aren't familiar, located inside the Roswell Air Terminal at the airport there. And it is a museum that pays homage and gives folks and locals an opportunity to learn more about what was once called the Walker Air Force Base, Roswell Army Airfield, which if you're at the museum, you just happen to be on the property because it was down there at the south end of the base where the airport is. That's right. The other part is they also celebrate and give the history of the Cold War era and this area's role during the Cold War area with the ballistic missiles and the silos that were home here in this area. And then, of course, the other big part is celebrating this history, but also promoting STEM and getting kids into STEM-related pilot, aircraft industry-related, promoting those career fields and things like that. But really all STEM. So that's really what the museum
does. Yeah, we're kind of
does.
doing the same thing I guess Roswell High's doing today.
With their career field,
we really focus on stuff, and I'll talk about that here in a minute, about some of the different careers that we orientate people to.
Yeah. So good news is museum's open. It runs during the flight schedule out at the with the airline schedule.
You can go to aa.com and put in ROW for Roswell and say Dallas-Fort Worth, and just check on when the midday departure is, and we're out there 2 hours prior to that.
Okay.
So, right now it's leaving about 12:31.
Okay.
So we're out there from about a little after 10 until about 12:30 and later.
So, Ralph, on average, things open daily or during the week.
Mainly because we got volunteers only right now out there and doing that.
So if folks are listening and said, I'd love to volunteer, maybe spend that way, the more people that volunteer, we can just have it open all the time.
Matter of fact, we got a new volunteer, Ted Smith.
Okay.
Actually, his name is Robert Theodore Smith, but Ted Smith. But he's a veteran and really into history. So he's been volunteering. He's out there today along with Bob Donnell.
Nice.
But he'll probably be out there by himself on Wednesday. But anyway, he's been helping us out, holding down the fort out there.
Well, good. Well, say hi to Ted Theodore Logan's. All I could think of was when you said his name, he sounds like oh shoot, my brain just had a complete brain cramp there. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, the Bill and Ted movies. You ever seen those?
Oh yeah.
Ted Theodore Logan. So when he gave all the names, I was like, oh, it reminds me of him. But anyway, great to see he is stepping up here. And if anybody else is interested in being a volunteer, we'll give you the information here at the end here on how to get a hold of everybody and how to make that happen. So, well, good. I'm glad to see you got a new volunteer to be a part of the fold there. So,
yeah. Good
deal. So, where do we want to cover first? We just want to cover some of the stuff you got going on right now.
First of all, you can go to wafbmuseum.org to find out information. And on that, you should find a newsletter. We're trying to get a new newsletter out pretty soon.
Okay.
Other publication displays and some history information. But our email is walkeramuseum@gmail.com.
Okay.
So, just instead of aviation, we just put walkeramuseum@gmail.com.
Okay.
But right now, the current board members are just myself, Katie Yates, Sandy Correa, Bob Donnell, Juliana Halverson, Judy Armstrong, Jerry Cloffer, and Friar Jarek Norwaki, and Stephen Miller. But we're looking for additional members that might be interested in joining our group. And we're focused two things: history, is the main thing with the Walker Museum. But thanks to a grant we got from XL Energy, we got a couple really nice flight simulators.
Yeah.
And so we're trying to schedule kids to come out and see us. And we're talking, the Roswell Independent School District. We're talking Sidney Gutierrez Charter School, Gateway School, All Saints School, and, any other schools, local churches, youth groups, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, Civil Air Patrol, that kind of stuff. New Mexico Youth Challenge, yeah. So we get them out there and give them a little quick history, give them a little bit of orientation on the flight simulators, break them in two groups. And while we try to look at small groups, unfortunately, because we only have small area and stuff.
Sure.
It's about 8 to 12. 8 is ideal, but 8 to 12 max at a time. And we break them into two groups, about a 2.5 hour thing, and we can really get them oriented on about 15 different careers, as well as the flight simulator.
Very good. So,
and I'll go over those here in a minute.
Yeah. So if there's youth groups here listening and saying, this might be a great opportunity for whether it's a scout troop or a church group or a school group or anything like that, reach out. They would love to have you come be a part of this and give you an opportunity to see what they've got to offer and hopefully turn some of your youth onto career fields in the STEM-related careers.
I think this summer we're going to have some Bible school groups coming out.
Good.
So, again, we're looking at this simulators are pretty complicated, not complicated, but they're pretty unique aircraft. I mean, things. We have it set up for Cessna 172, and we see the airline pilots walking by, and what is it? Oh, 170, okay. As well, you can select, if you want to, an F-35 fighter land at Istanbul, Turkey at 9 o'clock in the rain. So you can do all kinds of things with 50 different aircraft. And
do you ever tell any of the pilots when they come by and say that? Maybe, I don't know if it's American airline pilots.
Yeah, American Airlines, yeah.
And they come through and they're like, oh, wait a minute, you said an F-35? Let me come back and check this out.
Or an F-22. What? Okay. I'll check that out.
Yeah, I imagine if you're flying heavies all your life and someone says, hey, you want to try to fly? It's kind of like someone coming up and saying, hey, you want the keys to my Ferrari? Give it a try and drive it out. Most people are going, yeah, give me them keys. I'm sure those pilots like F-22. I'll take a spin in that.
Well, we got my sister's son. He's a school teacher in New York City, actually Manhattan. So he came in and we got him flying this airplane. We had him flying over New York, and he was telling us, yeah, that's good. That's good. Or, nope, that building is not there. It's on the other side of that street or whatever. Because some of the exact location of this material on the ground was not quite exactly on the outskirts of New York. And he was kind of flying his little plane around, telling us what was correct and what wasn't. So that was kind of cool.
It is cool. But that's and here's something, too, and we've talked about that. If you have folks that are interested in pursuing pilot's license, this really could help towards that training, because you guys actually kind of use the simulator kind of like a library, and folks that are interested in it, you get checked out on it and stuff, and then you can get a card issued, very much like a library. And then when it's available and open, and it's not being used, you can come and check it out.
Since you've been oriented, you're allowed. We have a little card that says, I'm an EduStation. What's that's the name of the flight simulator.
Yeah.
It's made by STEM Pilot Incorporated. But it's EduStation. I'm an EduStation pilot. So they can show that. We can cross-check it in our little roster that we keep.
Yeah.
And let them have access to the flight simulator.
And that stuff counts towards your flying hours, towards getting your license and all of that stuff. That seat time in the simulator counts as flying hours and things like that.
Yeah, when they leave, we give them several sheets of paper. One is, a list of all the YouTube career stuff that we've shown them and a list of other STEM careers that they can look up on YouTube themselves. And we also have a list of 38. They're all made by the same company. It's a professional training. Like, for example, there's 2 20-minute videos on weather for aviation. So it's 38 videos of 12 hours long. And you watch that, trust me, you have been through 12 hours of intensive aviation training. So if you walked into a place that, want to become a pilot,
get your
and you've already watched that 12 hours of videos of flying, you're kind of really a big jump ahead.
Sure.
Maybe even of the instructor sitting there watching.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So if folks that are serious about, pursuing pass and as pilots or doing it for their own personal gain, there's opportunities here just through the Walker Aviation Museum on that side. So very good.
Today, I'd like to tell a couple of war stories. I told a war story last month about big Eric Mays, big guy that accidentally ripped the door off of this thing when his girlfriend dumped him, and he didn't mean to, so he was coming in to turn in his Airman of the Quarter, Airman of the Month award, and I told him, get out of my office. we're doing good. But I've got a couple other stories I could tell that, real brief, kind of, if you're prior military, people military is kind of something that
you can appreciate some of the stories
stuff.
here.
Yeah. One of the things that I'd like to go through right quick, since we're talking Roswell High is having their career day. When people come to see us, we give them a quick history of Walker, and then we, break them up. And one of the things they do for an hour while the other two are on flight simulators, we show them some potential careers. We show them some short video on how to develop a Venn diagram, which is 3 circles, and the thing in the middle is then kind of what you could do as a career.
Okay.
Because it's, what people will pay you to do, what you're good at, and what you're passionate about. If all those things overlap, then that's a good thing to pursue as a career. We show them, these are videos that anywhere from maybe a minute and a half to, say, 2.5, 3 minutes long.
Okay.
That's short. We show them science, technology, and math overview. Careers in aviation is one of them. Eastern New Mexico University Roswell Aviation Maintenance Technician Program. A day in the life of a wind turbine engineer. Crumlin Auto Group and Eastern New Mexico University Roswell Auto Mechanic Program we have here in Roswell. A video on energy careers and energy cluster. Another one on oil well workers career video. What does a registered nurse do? Another one is architectural engineering versus architecture. What's the difference? And then we have 5 short, about 1.5 minutes long, really good Air Force recruiting on STEM stuff. And the first one is technical training overview of all the technical type stuff they could do. Aerospace ground equipment, air traffic control, electronic principles, and geospatial intelligence. These are all U.S. Air Force recruiting, and idea that you could do this, you get this training, and this could be applied once you got out of the Air Force, and also GI Bill.
Nice.
Being in the and the last one, and I just picked this up because I take Science News magazine, and on the back, it's a full-page thing, is a STEM career in the CIA.
Oh, interesting.
So this is a day in the life at CIA, and it shows you all the STEM-type careers that are available in the CIA.
Interesting, which I imagine there's quite a few. We just don't realize.
Only thing is, if they tell you, they have to kill you.
They have to kill you, exactly.
All right. Okay.
Pretty soon, you guys are going to have to add some Space Force.
That's right. Oh, we have some decals that people can take.
Good deal.
It has a Space Force thing they can put on their car windows or something.
I'll be, because they've already recruited and got people in the Space Force, and they're doing stuff. I mean, it's not as big as the other branches right now, but they've already implemented some of that stuff, and I got to imagine that's going to just keep getting bigger and bigger as we get older here, and more of that stuff there. But as far as STEM goes, I imagine that one's going to be almost all exclusively STEM, I'm thinking, for Space Force folks. But pretty cool.
One of the things I'd like to mention before I get too far down the road is thanks to people that have helped us monetarily and with other ways too. Roswell Toyota, XL Energy, of course, with the grant we got for flight simulators, and Pioneer Bank, Featherstone Development Corporation, Dr. Phil Cathy, Dr. Paula Engstrom, and Lloyd Hughes. Glenn's Furniture's provided some nice furniture for us.
Nice.
And Aerosail was a big supporter in the past year. So, again, we're going to be running out probably once we get a brochure completed. We're going to be kind of talking to people and trying to raise a little money. Right now, we don't have enough people. We're all kind of working out the museum, keeping it open to plan and do a golf tournament. So we're going to just maybe try to hit some people. And once we get somebody to support a particular month, we'll put big signs out and show, give them some
recognition and love.
Yeah, sure.
So really, looking for volunteers, looking for sponsorships. If there's folks that are out there that really want to support what the Walker Aviation Museum does, we'd love to have you. If you'd like to, as an individual, volunteer to be a docent or serve on the board or volunteer in any way, shape, or form that way, would love to have you. And like you said, if there's businesses or groups out there that are interested in maybe your business or your mission statement lines right up with what the folks here at the Walker Aviation Museum are doing, and like to support that through sponsorship. Maybe, like I said, we got Airsail, Glenn's Furniture, Crumlin, all these groups that have really done a lot for the museum. We can add your name to that list too, and you guys hadn't had a chance to have your golf tournament in the last year or two here because of COVID and the world we live in right now, but at the end of the day, that's one of the major fundraisers for the museum. That's one of the big ones for the year. So if folks that are wanting to donate financially, or again, being back on helping to organize to get the golf tournament, hopefully next Armed Forces Day here in May and all that, a year from now, we'll be able to be out there whacking the golf ball around.
Yeah, we've right now when we're open, you walk in and we've got 2 touchscreens you can get for 2-minute, history of Atlas missile, 2-minute history of Walker or Roswell Army Airfield, and then we have some videos running usually up in the other corner, and then we've got our flight simulators, but those are usually set just for when we have tours or if, like we say, people came in that already been oriented to. And when we're closed up, we've now got some nice big signs that show some history of Walker and some other things we've gotten through Southwest Printing, and appreciate that. So anyway, something along that line. And just for all those just quick kind of a humorous or funny, not really funny, but it's things that happen.
Gee whiz stuff that life in the military.
Yeah, I'm sitting here with Mike, and we can talk about when we were in the military. But one of the times I was in the military was I was at RAF Alconbury in 1983. And if you study the Cold War, 1983 was one of the more serious periods of time when some things were going on. And matter of fact, while I was in England, that's when they were doing this particular, I forget the name of it right now, I read it last night, but it was a particular war games exercise, and it was kind of pretty simulating atomic exchange and stuff. And the Russians really were taking this serious, like we were not really faking and doing stuff. So now I look back on it and realize my wife and I were probably, and my daughter, were in potentially dangerous places.
Sure. But when you're young and dumb, you don't think much about those things.
Think about that later. But at RF Alconbury, we were working and establishing the U-2 aircraft. At that time, it's called the TR-1.
Which is Air Force or spy aircraft.
Yeah, it's spy aircraft, high altitude, above 70,000 feet, and they require pressure suits and stuff like that, of course, in case they lost pressurization. And, water at body temperature will boil at 63,000 feet. So if you're flying at 70, 75,000, you wouldn't want to lose pressurization.
That would be a bad thing.
That'd be a bad thing, that's right. So anyway, we would load these, dress the guys up, the pilots, and take them over to the aircraft. And the aircraft was parked on a ramp we call Charlie Ramp, on C ramp.
Okay.
And it was right across, we could see it right out of our building that we had, but we had to get the guys into the van and take them about a half a mile down and through some traffic and turn and get back up to Charlie Ramp. So one Wednesday, I mentioned to Sergeant Kostler, who was my guy that kept me out of trouble. And sometimes he got me in trouble. Anyway, I said, you know what, it'd be great. Right next to our building was this big, deep ditch, and they had a lot of flood control ditches, or like little, it was concrete, and it was real deep, so if it rained real heavy and stuff, it'd drain the water off, and it wouldn't be a problem.
Gotcha.
So I said, it'd be great if we had a little bridge that went across this, canal, so we could get to Charlie Ramp just right here in front of us, where we could, throw a tennis ball and hit it. So he said, okay, I'll check on it, see what we can do. So I came back to work on the next Monday. This was Wednesday, and then the following Monday, I came back to work, and sure enough, there was a great little aluminum bridge across this thing where we could drive our vans across straight into Charlie Ramp. So I said, wow, that's great. Sergeant Kostler and all the guys, how'd you get that done? I said, we made it happen, So.
Don't worry about it.
So about a month later, I get a telephone call from the wing commander, and he says, hey, Bob, how come we ordered 16 survival knives when we only have 12 survival kits? I said, I don't know. I'll check it out.
Yeah.
So I called in Sergeant Kostler. I said, do you have any idea why did we order extra survival knives there? Since we only got 12 survival kits and we ordered 16. And he said, well, sir, do you like that bridge we got? I said, that's great, yeah. So does the wing commander. He loves it. He said, well,
cost us 4 knives.
It cost us 4 knives. Civil engineering guys. So anyway, so I called up the wing commander and I said, do you like the bridge we got there? And, oh, yes, sir, that's great. And I said, well, it cost us 4 survival knives. And there was a long silence on the phone, and the colonel said, Bob, you didn't tell me that, and he hung up on me. So there was another incident. I was at Beale, and it was a little past midnight, and we were getting a SR-71 Blackbird ready to fly and take off out of Beale Air Force Base north of Sacramento and fly north over the, Hudson Bay and up toward and fly off the northern coast of Russia to kind of monitor a lot of the sub areas, submarines and stuff. So we were in there and checking out, and one of my guys had accidentally dropped a safety pin, and in the SR-71 there was sometimes it wasn't a total solid floor in the bottom, and it would fall down there were some control cables down below that. So we had one of our smaller guys that we used, and we were holding him by his ankles. He was upside down in there, and he was reaching down there with a flashlight in his mouth trying to get that pin out.
As a guy that worked the flight line, I know how much work's involved when something is dropped and lost in the cockpit.
That's right.
It is.
So it
is an act of Congress to get that thing going again.
And we were kind of a little behind schedule, so the wing commander again walked up to me and he said, we're going to be able to take off on time, aren't we? And I said, yes, sir. We just dropped a pin and we're going to get it, and we'll be on time. He says, well, it's a good thing because there's 18 KC-135 tankers waiting for this aircraft.
Wow.
And the reason I thought 18, my gosh, and what they were going to have was 6 refuelings over this mission.
Oh, wow.
And because the airplane was so valuable, I didn't realize at that time they were actually having the main tanker that was going to refuel, and they had a backup tanker in case there's something happened, and then you had a backup to the backup. So if you had 3 tankers that were kind of alerted and getting ready to fly or flow for each refueling episode or zone, when the plane would descend from 80,000 feet down to 25, 26,000, refuel, and then go back up with burners, go back up to altitude and fly again.
And much of the work of what the U-2 does is pretty secret, classified stuff.
Yeah.
So
this was the SR-71.
And that was SR-71, which was just as secret.
3 times the speed of sound.
Yeah. Just as
good example. I just heard about that particular aircraft, and not that this had to do anything with Walker, but if you had a SR-71 when it flew from Los Angeles to New York, and if you had someone in another airplane that was flying exactly the same speed as the 30-06 bullet at the velocity that leaves the barrel, as they passed over Los Angeles, and they continued to be able to continue that same speed of that 30-06 bullet leaving the barrel, The SR-71 would be at New York 5 minutes before the guy in the bullet got there.
That's amazing.
I'm thinking, wow, that's fast.
That is fast.
Yeah.
Well, I know the SR-71 that's on display at the Air and Space Museum in Dulles, in Virginia. That particular SR-71, before it ended up there, had broke a record of coast-to-coast flight, and it was some ungodly fast time. I don't remember what it is off the top of my head, but right before they put that thing in the museum, I mean, like, it went and did this record, and then they flew it to D.C. and said, we're retiring it here at the, I don't remember, UDaisy, whatever that facility that Air and Space owns in the Dulles Airport there in D.C. And that one's been there, but that particular one set the speed coast-to-coast record. I don't know if I don't think it's been broken, but that SR-71, those planes are awesome. They are just super fast, and of course,
you can also recognize it because it's had a double sonic boom.
Yeah,
it goes boom boom when it would go over.
Okay,
and it was from the nose and then spikes on the engines. They both had a shock wave.
Wow,
and so
and if I remember right, the reason why we didn't. Because the what's kind of weird is the U-2 plane we were just talking about before. They actually have the same sort of mission, and the U-2's been around a lot longer than the SR-71.
Yeah, they actually extended it and still flying.
But here's the deal: is the SR-71's been retired, and I think the main reason is they can pretty much do a lot with the U-2, but a lot cheaper than what it would cost to fly an SR-71. I mean, the SR-71's an amazing and quick, but at the end of the day, it's a very expensive aircraft.
The example is the 18 tankers. I mean,
it's very
expensive.
Expensive to fly, where U-2 can do that work much cheaper, and
still the satellite stuff has been a lot too.
And satellite too. Technology with satellites have changed the role of some of these spy planes as well too. But for its day, the SR-71 was the Corvette, the Ferrari of aircraft, because that thing just moves. I mean, it's like you think about like the Concorde in the civilian world as far as being fast and things. The SR-71, which would blow the doors off of it, by the way, off the Concorde, but is the military's version of the fastest plane and things like that. So, but
there's a funny story out about people talking to the ground controllers, and they were asking some Cessna, what's my ground speed? It's 175 miles an hour, whatever. And then some guy calls in from Navy with a Navy fighter. He says, what's mine? And they say, well, you're, 680 knots or whatever it was. And so the SR guy just happens, okay, fine, I'm just going to call in.
Just for fun.
Yeah. They came back with, whatever speed was, but I think they travel about 37, 38 miles per minute.
Wow. By the way, the top speed is very classified on there. But I will say, and this is, you can go on the internet and look up just about, but like your F-15s and your F-16s and all that, Mach 2 for about a F-15, about maybe Mach 1.5 for a 16, something like that. And the SR-71 will blow the doors off both of those. Yeah. So I'm guessing I'm guessing top speed on that thing is at least Mach 3. I'm sure it's more than that.
Yeah, it's Mach 3. They advertise Mach 3, but I think they could go a little faster if they wanted to.
Well, it's kind of like the F-117s. That's what I worked on when I was in the Air Force, which are really bombers, not fighters. But anyway, they don't have afterburner on them because that would give away their stealth technology.
Right.
And generally speaking, that's what makes fighter jets give them Mach capability, is their afterburner. The 117 can hit Mach without afterburner. Mm-hmm. It doesn't do it very often, and it might rattle the thing apart, but it can do it. You know what I mean? It can do Mach without afterburner.
Yeah,
it had the ability.
SR-71 had spikes on the engines, and as the speed changed, the spikes moved forward and backwards, so that the shock wave actually went into the engine to help.
Yeah. And by the way, Mach 1 is when you break the sound barrier.
I'm sorry, right.
Yeah, I probably should have said that, and when we were talking about speeds and all that too. When you hit Mach 1, that's when you officially break the sound barrier.
Right.
So take that times 3, and that's what the public will admit the SR-71 does. I bet it does probably Mach 4. Did you have another war story, or we got a minute or two here before we actually? I just looked at the time; it's almost 8:00.
Yeah, I don't know. Do we have time to go over like the first few years of the Walker thing? Or
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. War was looming in Europe, and the United States decided to train 30,000 more pilots. This was back in the about 1940. Attack on Pearl Harbor on December 7th, 1941. Roswell was selected as one of the new pilot training bases in 1941. $9 million construction started in February 1942 on 4,624 acres provided by David Chesser, a local rancher right here in Roswell. Starting with the first class of 146 students on June 1st, 1942, the Roswell Army Airfield was the flight training base that by the end of World War II was the home of a total of 7 2-engine flying training squadrons and 5 bombardier training squadrons and 1 specialized B-29 squadron.
Okay.
And about 14,000 students graduated from Roswell Army Airfield between 1942 and 1945.
Wow.
So it was a training base. The peak strength during World War II at Roswell Army Airfield was 8,616 personnel assigned. And in September 1942 to April 1943, about 1,000 glider pilots served in a glider replacement pool at Roswell Army Airfield. So we did some glider pilot training.
Those guys got the short straw. I don't care what anybody says.
March to April 43, 42 Chinese students trained with the B-25 at Roswell Army Airfield. And August 6, 1945, the 509th Composite Group, B-29 Enola Gay, piloted by Colonel Paul Tibbets, dropped the enriched uranium atomic bomb on Hiroshima, Japan. And on August 9th, 1945, the 509th Composite Group B-29 Boxcar, piloted by Major Sweeney, dropped a plutonium atomic bomb on an alternate target, Nagasaki. The primary target was Kokura. And finally, the 509th, including both the Enola Gay and Boxcar, moved to the Roswell Army Airfield and became the nucleus of the Atomic Strike Force for the Strategic Air Command. Starting in May 1946, had 3 different squadrons here working as, and they were the only atomic bomb mission-ready squadrons in Strategic Air Command.
Wow.
And then they moved in 1958 up to Pease Air Force Base in New Hampshire.
And then, about 10 years later, it was all she wrote for Walker Air Force Base Museum there in the
1967.
67, yeah.
Yeah. So I'll talk about the last half here next week, next month.
Folks, if you'd like to support and be a part, WAFBmuseum.org. You can donate through there. Don't forget the Amazon Smiles. There's a link there. So if you shop Amazon, use that Amazon Smiles tab. You can help the museum that way. Also, volunteers, if you'd like to serve on the board, if you'd like to serve as a docent, to volunteer, or if maybe you're retired military and think, man, I love this stuff. I could be great to help out with some of the stuff there. We'd love to have you do that. Or if you're just a flight geek and want to come out and see all this stuff.
You can ask my wife when I come back from being at the museum for a couple of hours.
Yeah.
Almost every day I'm out there, there's people come in that their grandfather or their father or they were there. Mm-hmm. And it's just real positive. You really talk to nice people that really are concerned and really interesting.
Well, it's a whole lifestyle. The military lifestyle is a lifestyle, and there's when people that have been in it and served in it and know it, and the wives, the spouses, everybody, it's a community. It's a close-knit community. They all chew a lot of the same dirt, so they all understand.
Now we come in, like there's some KC-135s flying around, some fighters flying around doing touch and goes, and they're thinking, wow, it's out there, all that noise and stuff, and like my wife would say, it's the sound of freedom.
Yeah. Well, and that's the fun part is you guys like yourself who were served in the military a few years ago. Then when the current active duty folks and reserve folks are here doing their training and stuff, and you guys get a chance to talk to them, it's funny. No matter how much technology and life changes, the same stories and same experiences that you had when your time in, those folks are, and so I'm sure you get a lot of times when you're talking and even though technology and life has changed, a lot of it's the same when you start talking and they start telling what they're going through, and you're like, yep, I've been there, done that. Oh yeah, know all about that.
I got that merit badge.
Yeah, I know that one. And it's kind of fun because in essence, you guys use your wisdom helping these folks, and then even with the older, the leadership on the side, because you're looking, and then when we were young airmen and so forth, and you look at colonels and everything, you're like, oh man, Now shoe on the other foot. We sit here and look at colonels today and like, man, what a kid. You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
Like when you were in that situation, like these colonels, they look like old men, you know. And then now I'm like, is that colonel even old enough to shave? What's going on here? I don't know, but it's all about perspective. So, Well, thank you, Robert. As always, appreciate the visit. We'll see you here next time, okay?
Okay, thanks.
All right, it is 7:55. Let's go ahead and get you into news, and we'll also do a quick break here before we get you into Town Hall News. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Now for your Pecos Valley News Update, I'm Jared Cirillo. Thanks for joining us. Our top story, the city of Roswell is looking for citizens to serve the community by applying to fill multiple vacancies on its boards and commissions. The members of these boards and commissions are appointed by the mayor with the advice and consent of the city council. Boards that have vacancies include the Airport Advisory Commission, the Cemetery Board, the Commission on Aging, and Keep Roswell Beautiful. A pavement maintenance project that will improve certain streets in Roswell's Ward 2 is scheduled to start today. The contractor anticipated to work weekdays from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. The work areas will be closed to through traffic, but access accommodations will be in place for residents, including the availability of parking on side streets. The project is divided into sections along Western Briar Road, Northwood Drive, and Park Drive. You're up to date. That's a look at local news headlines. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
Every time there's a controversy involving social media, think Elon Musk and Twitter, people race online to announce that they're closing their accounts. But is anyone really quitting Twitter? I'm Kim Commando, brought to you by T-Mobile. Their advanced network now goes farther than ever before. Visit T-Mobile.com/55 today. I'm going to call these things social media mass exodus events. Facebook and Cambridge Analytica was one. For a while, it seemed like everyone was threatening to quit Facebook. The latest one, Elon Musk and Twitter. Liberals are screaming. Conservatives are cheering. According to the Wall Street Journal, that's where it ends. 70% of America uses social media. The Pew Research Center says that number has remained pretty steady for the past 5 years. Of course, you'll read occasionally one service or another reports that it has lost users. But a few months later, the lost numbers, they seem to come back. Simply put, no one seems to be going anywhere. And speaking of social media, you can follow me at twitter.com/KimCommando. If you've recently bought anything, you've probably noticed that prices have gone up on almost everything, especially on essentials like gas, groceries, and utilities. That's why it's a great time to save on your prescription costs. With GoodRx, you can instantly compare prescription prices at pharmacies in your neighborhood and find discounts that could save you up to 80%. It's free and easy to use and works whether you do or do not have insurance. Even if you have insurance, GoodRx may actually beat your copay price. Find prescription savings at pharmacies like CVS, Kroger, Walgreens, Rite Aid, Bonds, Walmart, and more. Then take the money you've saved and put it towards all the things that have gotten more expensive. For simple, smart savings on your prescriptions, check GoodRx. Go to goodrx.com/Kim. That's goodrx.com/Kim. goodrx.com/Kim.
GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used in place of insurance, Medicare, and Medicaid. In 2021, GoodRx users saved 81% on retail prescription prices.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Still pretty warm today, but we do have a cold front edging in from the northeast, and that'll bring us gusty wind and lots of sunshine. Our high will stay in the upper 80s, and that wind gusting at 30 to 35 miles per hour through the day. Some clouds for the overnight hours, down to a low of 60 and windy, and then we're back up to the 90-degree mark on Wednesday, sunny and breezy. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
When you think of home health care here in Roswell, what's the first thing that pops into your head? That's right, Frontier Medical. We've been doing it better than anyone else for over 20 years. From in-home nursing to physical therapy and so much more. Doctors and hospitals from Albuquerque to Lubbock and everywhere in between have been trusting their patients to us here at Frontier Medical. So when it's time to make a choice, remember Frontier Medical. 575-627-1112. Frontier Medical. To remember.
To plant or not to plant? That is the question. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. Our tomato plants and pepper plants are ready to go. If you plant them now, you might have homegrown tomatoes and peppers before anyone else, or the frost might kill them. As Clint Eastwood would say, do you feel lucky? You'll either be the smartest gardener in the county or you'll get to replant them all over again. I say go for it. You'll get more practice and we'll get more business. This is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company, and I apologize to William Shakespeare.
Your home for Kim Commando in Roswell. 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
And we're closing in on 8 o'clock. Town Hall News up next. We'll be back on the other side of news. Do not go away.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Pro-life and pro-abortion activists have rallied outside the U.S. Supreme Court. Noisy demonstrations that follow indications that Roe v. Wade may be on its way out.
Politico reports it has obtained a draft opinion circulated among Supreme Court justices earlier this year, suggesting a majority of the court supports overturning Roe v. Wade, the landmark decision nearly 50 years ago that legalized abortion nationwide. It's not clear if the draft is the court's final word.
Correspondent Tim McGuire. Court watchers and legal experts are stunned by the leak of what is apparently a draft opinion from the High Court.
In most cases, the public doesn't know how Supreme Court justices will rule until they actually do. There may be some clues from the oral arguments, but the High Court is known for keeping secrets. And that's what makes the report from Politico so shocking. Not only was it a leak about how the court might rule, it was an apparent draft of an opinion running nearly 100 pages on a major abortion case. It's a rare departure from the Supreme Court's tradition of protecting internal deliberations. Greg Clugston, Washington.
And President Biden pledging to work to enshrine abortion in law, adding that the stability of our law demands a high court not overturn Roe v. Wade. Well, the polls are open in Ohio. Voters choosing from among 7 candidates seeking the GOP nomination for the U.S. Senate seat being vacated by retiring Republican Rob Portman. A senior U.S. official is warning that Russia has plans to annex much of eastern Ukraine, says it is expected to happen later in the month. On Wall Street right now, the benchmarks are mixed. The Dow Jones Industrial Average down 2 points, while the NASDAQ Composite Index is trading 54 points higher, and the S&P 500 Index is up 14 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
First, we decide where we want to go. Then we need to know the best way to get there. Hi, my name's Adam Barata. I'm the owner of Advantage Gold. We're the highest rated precious metals firm in the country. We teach people how to own physical gold and silver. Now, we've won the Best of TrustLink Award 4 years in a row because we educate our clients on how to buy gold and silver the right way. We don't pay celebrity spokespeople millions of dollars. We'd rather pass that value on to you. Call 800-900-8000 and speak with one of our experts. We'll send you a free gold kit along with my latest #1 national best-selling book, The Great Devaluation. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000. Get the best information, the best process, the best service, the best value. Call Advantage Gold at 800-900-8000. Call 800-900-8000.
Northwest Nigeria. The UN Secretary General's next stop on a tour of West Africa.
3 countries in the sub-region are currently under military rule after soldiers seized powers from their democratically elected government. Nigeria has suffered bloody attacks and violent extremism by jihadist groups. This is the first visit of the UN Secretary General to Nigeria. Mr. Guterres is pushing for a robust African peace and counter-terrorism operations implemented by the African Union and supported by the United Nations. The Secretary General will be meeting with the Nigerian President, Muhammadu Buhari, and senior government officials, as well as religious, women and youth leaders, the private sector, and the diplomatic community.
That's the BBC's Chris Iwaka. The parents of Madeleine McCann, British toddler who vanished from an apartment during her family's vacation in Portugal 15 years ago, say they remain hopeful that efforts by police in several countries will solve the mystery. Townhall.com. It's a setback for organized labor at an Amazon warehouse. Staten Island, New York.
About 62% of the workers voted against the union. That's according to the National Labor Relations Board, which oversaw the process. Turnout was 61%, with about 1,600 workers eligible to vote. The result is a blow to organizers who last month pulled off the first successful U.S. organizing effort in Amazon's history. An attorney who assisted the Amazon Labor Union, which led the organizing effort, says the group is planning to object. A separate election last month gave the ALU a surprise victory when workers at a different Staten Island facility voted in favor of unionizing. I'm Mike Hempen.
China readying new hospital beds to deal with a possible spike in COVID cases in the capital city of Beijing. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The Revolution, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
Well, that'd be the deuce.
Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Hope you're having a good one.
Welcome to it.
Hope it's going swimmingly.
Welcome Tuesday.
Yes. And speaking of Tuesday. I was gonna never mind. I was gonna segue. I had a thing, and then it went out of my head, and I was like, never mind. I'm just gonna give up. I was gonna segue it into someone else, and it just didn't play out my head right. Sorry.
It's all right. Some
are winners.
Yeah, that's right. Sometimes you got to throw a ball. It can't always be strikes.
Sometimes it's a big fat turkey. You just
sometimes
throw
you got a line drive or a foul line ball. You don't know which way it's going to go, and it just leans foul.
Exactly. So, hey, I want to give you a clue. For Clue.
Okay. A clue about Clue.
No, yes. Well, we're actually going to have some of the folks from Clue join us here in a bit. But we got to do our Clue of the Day for the Whodunit here opportunity. So in case you're wondering what I'm talking about, they debuted it here yesterday. The Roswell Communal Theater, their upcoming production of Clue, which is this weekend and next weekend, Friday, Saturday evening, and then a Sunday matinee this weekend and next weekend at the Roswell Communal Theater.
Right.
Well, they got a little fun, little opportunity for you to get involved and, maybe win some prizes and what have you here. So each day this week, a clue will be released in one of 3 locations. You can log on to the Roswell Communal Theater's Facebook page. You can go to their website, roswelltheater.com. Make sure you spell theater, T-R-E at the end, not E-R.
Theatre.
Don't spell it the eater. Spell it theatre. What is that, French?
Like Trey Cool from Green Day.
Must be Italian. But anyway, or listen right here on Mornings with Mike Winters, and we will give you the clue, which you're already here. Might as well go ahead and listen. So what's going to happen is we're going to give a clue each day, and at the clue is talking of a location here in Roswell where you will find evidence as to who done it, who committed the murder, and it's in clue fashion. I'm sure all of you have seen or familiar with the board game.
Sure. Cluedo if you're British.
Yeah. not only who committed said murder, but with what item and in which room was said murder committed. Cards are available at locations of evidence, like I said, which I'm going to tell you here in a second, or at roswelltheater.com. When you believe you have a conclusion, come to any of the shows, either this weekend or next, Friday night, Saturday and Sunday afternoon. And when you come to the show, any of the performances, you'll be given an opportunity to present your evidence. And then all the people that present their evidence will be put into a drawing to win a prize. And then on the final performance, that Sunday matinee on the weekend 2, next weekend, they're going to take a drawing of the 6 winners from each show and then have a grand prize winner. So all of this, you can win some great prizes. All you have to do is listen to some clues, swing on over, get your clue cards,
deduce,
and then bring it on in.
There you go.
So yesterday's clues, well, they're on the website. I'm not going to read them to you again.
Dang,
you got to pay attention, but we got 2 of them.
Okay.
I have one clue for you today.
All right. What's the clue for today?
Today's clue. Presta la atención. Meet Professor Plum's friend Oscar, where you can find ancient rocks and fossils from the ancients of days.
I see.
So, I didn't say they're hard clues.
No.
You put your head together and figure this out. You can do it.
I had it. See, and this thing, I feel like if you'd have just stopped like a sentence before, it would have added a little bit of challenge to it.
Well, well, of course, if you're not smart enough to know a name of a business.
Sure.
And you just not, or not smart enough, that's not the proper, not aware that it's the name of a business.
Not aware of Roswell.
Then that clue is completely a little bit harder for you.
That's true. That is
of course,
absolutely true.
The name of the business is somewhere in that clue.
In theory.
And if you're running around looking for Professor Plum's rocks, then you're looking in the wrong area.
Everybody's like, I got to get to the church. that one church with all the rocks.
What's a rock place that sounds like Plum?
There was that. You know what? It used to be a church. Now it's the Door. It's the Door of Opportunity. A church over on is it Washington, and I think 19th. That actually has the full blown like stone was rolled away cave thing in the back.
Huh?
Yeah.
Door of Opportunity.
It's now a Door of Opportunity, I think, but it used to be a church. It's over there on 19th and something.
I did not know that.
You should check it out. It's got a full blown Jesus isn't there. I checked, but yeah. So your chance to join into the clue game, and I'll be honest, I've traditionally been terrible at the game of Clue. Like I'm not good at the power at deduction.
I to be honest, I don't think I've played actual Clue game since I was a child.
Well, I said so. Cool thing about my friends is they are board gamers, so they'll break up board games as a family.
Yeah,
they'll play Phase 10.
Well, and I play board games, but Clue's one that I don't know if I just had family members that weren't Clue people,
right?
Because I only played it once or twice with friends.
It's a niche thing. It's like Risk. Finding people that like Risk is
I've played Risk actually much more, and Monopoly and when I was young, so many Mousetrap. Mousetrap, I ended up playing by myself more than anybody else.
I just ended up playing with the board.
I had a lot of friends back then. Yeah, because
just to set off the thing.
Yeah. And then
plus it takes like an hour and a half to set that game up. But no, Clue. I mean, I would sit down and play it, and I was
Game of Life too is one I loved a lot.
That's fun. Just with the spinner.
Yeah.
I was just never good at because I would be sitting there trying to figure it out. I'd see all my friends writing down. I'm like, right, I should be taking notes too. I should be doing what they're doing, and I don't, and then I get lost, and I can't figure it out.
Yeah, and then also when I came of age, when Clue and when I'm in that, when you're into that young age, that age of where games and stuff are much more in your things you want to do.
Right.
I was distracted by a lot of 80s pre-computer electronic styled board games.
Sure.
If you know what I mean. This was before there was really computer games.
A lot of Mattel football.
Yeah, but even more so board games like that. For instance would be this game, which in essence was kind of a high-tech Clue ripoff. And I don't even remember the name of it. But it came with this whole computer little thing, and it came with these cards.
It was like a tower computer, right?
And then when you had and then when there was a murder, you hear this do, and then the card, you'd go pick a card, and then here's the clue, and it would. So it was and then there was the Dark Tower game, which I've talked about on this radio. You
Right.
can get it on eBay for like $200
Right,
if you find
right.
one completed. But that was a game where you had to go around. So I had a lot of those games at that time that involved high-tech, at the time, computer-y type things. And so, yes, there was the football game and all that, but there was a lot of those games where they were trying to incorporate high-tech stuff. you know.
Peripherals.
Trying to
add to it.
To make it kind of more like for kids at the day, we had our games that were a lot of stuff like Hungry Hippos. Basically, these games are trying to be high-tech Hungry Hippos for more older...
To make it more immersive.
Or older kids.
And a more
instead
immersive experience, yeah.
Kind of like the Operation game with the timer and the pop-up and
That's
all
another
that.
game. I was always terrible at
Or not Operation...
Perfection.
Perfection, that's it. Operation was another game with which I wasn't good at either. No one's good at that game.
That's a weird trigger. I remember...
No one is good at that game. There was like 2 things you could get easily. The rest we screwed up every time.
Right. Yeah, it was like it's water on the knee was because I had a handle.
Yeah.
And then I think
like
the
funny bone or something. Yeah. The rest, like the heart thing, there's one like a wrench. It was all impossible.
Not to mention the anxiety that goes with...
Yeah.
That's not off-putting at all.
Give us something more pleasant. Like,
a little nicer. Like no, or just ding. Some it's a simple sound, but
try again. After like 10 of them, you're like, you're an idiot. But you know. But anyway, like Clue is one of those ones I love playing, but I really only got the chance like 1 or 2 times.
I was just terrible at it.
I guess I had bad friends.
It's one of those games that makes me feel feel inferior to the people I'm playing with. And that's especially stinging considering one of the people I was playing with was a 7-year-old. Dang.
It just scolded you.
Oof. Yeah, and she did too. This is a smart kid.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, to play them now, you can take them.
Maybe. I doubt it.
I doubt it.
This was
not.
like 6 months ago. I'm saying she's probably gotten better since then.
Well, you just
she's only upped her Clue game since.
Stack the deck, change the rules, put them in a game that you would smoke them in.
Oh.
Solitaire or something.
Can't think of one. I'm bad at games. Tetris?
Anything that involves a board?
Right.
Like checkers? How are you at checkers?
I'm actually okay at checkers.
There you go.
I'm not terrible at chess. I bet I could beat her in chess.
Chess?
Yeah. She doesn't know how to play chess, so I bet I could beat her in chess.
Oh, but well, never mind.
I need to teach her how to play chess so I can beat her in chess.
Well, the thing is it.
Now. She'll beat me eventually.
Yeah, in about a week she'll take you.
Right.
Because she'll learn strategy and then you'll be done.
Right, but I'll have my moment. That's the point.
Give her honest rules, though. Don't make up the rules like, no, your horsey can do a big L, you get those, but no.
Your horse can only do lowercase L's. Mine can do capital L's.
So, let me give you the rundown, even though I kind of sort of did. We're going to get you up to date with the weather here in just a few minutes. Then after that, we're going to take a quick break. And then joining us from the Roswell Community Little Theater will be Director of Clue, Kathy Cook, and Colonel Mustard, Randy Nolan, going to join us here. And we'll talk all about Clue. And I'll repeat the clue for today in the Clue talk. So we'll talk all about that here in just a few minutes. Later on, we'll get you up to date with the news of the local variety, along with your town hall business and whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. Before we do any of that, though, let's get you up to date on the weather. Weather is brought to you by Bob Reed Pest Control. From general pest control, termite control, trees, shrubs, and yard treatment for both residential and commercial. Call the pest management professionals at Bob Reed Pest Control, 575-623-5344.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Still pretty warm today, but we do have a cold front edging in from the northeast, and that'll bring us gusty wind and lots of sunshine. Our high will stay in the upper 80s, and that wind gusting at 30 to 35 miles per hour through the day. Some clouds for the overnight hours, down to a low of 60 and windy, and then we're back up to the 90-degree mark on Wednesday, sunny and breezy. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 51 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 52% with winds out of the northeast at 9 miles per hour. We do have a fire weather watch that's going to kick in at noon today. That's going to remain in effect through 8 p.m. this evening. They're saying there's a slight chance of sprinkles today. And not the kind you put on your ice cream, moisture sprinkles, apparently. They say there's a chance. I don't know, a slight chance of sprinkles. I don't feel too optimistic about moisture there, but They're saying there's a slight chance of sprinkles after 3 today. Sunny, high of 85 with winds out of the east, 10 to 15 this morning, 20 to 25 for the afternoon. A slight chance of some more sprinkles before 9 p.m. this evening. Otherwise, mostly cloudy with an overnight low of 58. Winds will remain breezy out of the south, 20 to 25, gusting as high as 35 miles per hour. They'll drop down 10 to 15 after midnight tonight. Wednesday, mostly sunny, highs right around 90, 89 officially. Winds will be out of the west, 10 to 15 early. Later today, increase in 15 to 20, gusting as high as 30 miles per hour. Thursday, we're looking at sunny skies, a high of 88, northwest winds 10 to 15. And then Friday, back up to near 100, 97 on Friday was sunny and hot, 97. And then the weekend, Saturdays are, I think it would be the first time in 2022 we break the century mark. They're saying sunny, high of 101 expected on Saturday, and windy just to make it fun. And then Sunday, areas of blowing dust, sunny, 96 for a high. Windy as well, too. So that's what we're looking at. A little roller coastery. So kind of, 80s today, then pushing 90, then back down in the upper 80s, and then back up near 100 right after that. So that's kind of what we're looking at for the rest of this week. With that slight chance of sprinkles. Don't forget about that. All right, it is 20 minutes after 8 o'clock. Let's go ahead and take about a 3-minute break here, and then we're going to have the folks from the Roswell Community Little Theater on the other side join us, and we'll talk all about Clue up next. Don't go away.
Come join in the fun. The United Way of Eddy County presents the Cinco de Mayo Golf Tournament, Saturday, May 7th at Riverside Country Club with a 9 a.m. start and over $1,000 in payouts per flight. Plus, raffle prizes, breakfast provided, mulligans available, and so much more. For more info, call Maria Cole at the United Way at 575-887-3504 or contact the Riverside Country Club. Live United at the United Way of Eddy County Cinco de Mayo Golf Tournament, Saturday, May 7th at the Riverside Country Club, 1700 West Orchard Lane in Carlsbad.
To plant or not to plant? That is the question. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. Our tomato plants and pepper plants are ready to go. If you plant them now, you might have homegrown tomatoes and peppers before anyone else, or the frost might kill them. As Clint Eastwood would say, do you feel lucky? You'll either be the smartest gardener in the county, or you'll get to replant them all over again. I say go for it. You'll get more practice and we'll get more business. This is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company, and I apologize to William Shakespeare.
For people suffering with joint pain, simple movement feels like just taking a step feels like, and lifting your arm can feel like. Don't let joint pain be in charge of your life. The skilled orthopedic experts at Loveless Medical Group SCORE are helping more people take back their lives with some of the most advanced surgeries in the region. We're doing more than restoring joints, we're restoring lives. Call Loveless Medical Group SCORE today at 575-625-3300 so life can feel like,
Oasis Computers has been Roswell's trusted source for home and small business computers for over 30 years, and they continue to be your best resource for computer repairs, operating system upgrades, web root managed, antivirus, special orders, and more. Oasis Computers is now open from 8 to 1, Monday through Friday to better serve you. Service calls by appointments and after-hour appointments are available too. Stop by Oasis Computers at 1703 North Garden or call or text 575-625-9141 for even faster service.
The Spring River Zoo in Roswell presents the Butterfly Exhibit. Make plans to flutter by the Spring River Zoo for the new Butterfly Garden. Learn about the life of a butterfly and what plants help them thrive. Admission is free Saturday, May 7th and is always free the first Saturday each month for Roswell residents. Spring River Zoo is open 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. daily. Flutter on down for the fun at the all-new Butterfly Garden at the Spring River Zoo, 1306 East College in Roswell. Learn more at springriverzoo.com.
Wilbanks Trucking Services in Artesia is seeking dedicated and motivated individuals to join their team. Immediate openings include CDL drivers with pay starting at $25 to $33 per hour depending on experience. Riggers with pay starting at $20 per hour and open positions for lease operators. Wilbanks Trucking Services offers full benefits including medical, dental, vision, 401k, and housing for out-of-town employees. For more information on career opportunities, please call 575-746-6318 or online at wilbanks.us. Wilbanks Trucking Services is an equal opportunity employer.
Playing dance music can help ward off mosquitoes. Now you have a reason to invite Pitbull to your next pool party. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 24 minutes after 8 o'clock. I always do that to people. I'll say something right before, and everyone's like, ugh! And I'm like, it's all right. Don't worry about it. It is 8:24. Joining us in studio this morning, we have not all of the cast, but a hunk of the cast here from Clue here at the Roswell Community Little Theater. Let me, where'd my paper go? There it goes. Our director, Kathy Cook, is with us here this morning. Colonel Mustard, Randy Nolan here as well. We also have Miles Lopez. You're the cook, right?
No, she's the cook.
You're the cook.
Aaron's the cook.
Aaron Adler's the cook.
I am the cook.
And Miles Lopez is the body.
Mr. Body.
Mr. Body. AKA the body.
Yeah. Eventually. I get you.
No, that was Jesse Ventura.
Well, I was going to say, steal that from you. Could be Jesse, the body, Mr. Body, Ventura.
Yes, I love it.
Very good. Well, thank you guys for spending the time with us. Good morning, everybody.
Thank you for having us. Good morning.
Thanks for having us.
So, first off, if you're not familiar, the Roswell Community Little Theater, they're a great organization that's been around, I don't know, as long as Roswell.
Almost 70 years now.
doing performances and stuff. And, obviously had to take a bit of a hiatus, sort of, with COVID and things, but still managed to do some stuff during that time. But now that we're out of COVID, the Community Little Theater's been hot and heavy doing shows here the last 6 months, year here, since we've kind of been coming out of COVID here. Yep. And the next big production here is coming up this weekend and next, and it is one that I think a lot of people are familiar with, is Clue, which either the board game, or maybe you're familiar with the movie that they turned into, I guess, a theater. Was it originally theater and then a movie, or vice versa?
No, I think it was a movie first.
So this is one of the few exceptions that it started as the movie. Yeah. And then they decided, hey, we're going to put a Broadway version of this. So
and it actually was made into like a High School Musical first, and then they adapted the script to make it a little bit more closely like the movie.
Gotcha.
For just stage.
And if you've never seen the movie, it's a comedy. It's very much it's a whodunit. It's Clue. Yeah. It's the whodunit. But and of course, I'm a big fan of Tim Curry. Every one of his movies are a hit. Even I'm not even a big fan of Rocky Horror Picture Show per se, but
him in it.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
It's Tim Curry.
Yeah, exactly. So when I think of Clue, I go right to Tim Curry. Yeah. I mean, there was a lot of other great performances in there. But that's kind of the one that stands out to everybody. But which, by the way, I imagine whoever the butler is probably got big shoes, because everyone's going to think Tim Curry when you think
he's got some big shoes, and he is doing a fabulous job.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's Charles Lathrop, and he's done several things at the theater. And
gotcha.
He's awesome.
So I'm curious for you guys as actors, do you get, especially with Colonel Mustard, who's people, that seems to be when people think Clue, when you fire off a character, Colonel Mustard's 9 times out of 10 probably the first one people throw out of their mouths. But how much does when you have a movie, how does that influence like what you guys do as actors? I mean, because at some point you're like, all right, I'm making this my own. This is my character. But when you're looking at a movie and you're like, how much of that rubs off and you're like, well, I'm gonna like, well, it's gonna sound like Tim Curry, or is this gonna be my version of it? How much of that does that play in? I mean, because I'm guessing you want a little of that because you want the audience to be familiar with you, but at the same time, you don't want to do a version of someone else's thing out there too.
Yeah. There are actors who will not watch the movie.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Until after the show's over.
Sure. Was that anybody here? Did y'all?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Well, not here, but one of our cast members, our Mrs. White, refused to watch the movie until she had developed her own idea of what she wanted to do with the character.
Now, has she since seen it?
I think she has. Yeah.
Just curious. What's her thoughts?
I don't know that I've spoken with her. Did any of you? Yeah, I'm not sure.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But for everyone else, did y'all seen the movie prior to auditioning for this roles?
I have not.
Okay, so so have you still not seen it to this day?
Have not.
All right. Now, do you have plans to?
Yes.
All right. Very good.
It's not planned that he hasn't seen it. It's just the fact that he hasn't seen it.
Gotcha. Very good. Well, you also, I'm guessing, it's a little different. We were on Earth at the time and all that. I'm not, depending on, when did that movie come out? I don't even remember.
I think it was about 1985.
85, and
like
I'm assuming you weren't
that
with
was
us.
way before I was
Yeah, I would
born.
say you weren't around with us in 1985.
I am 17.
And I don't know if you've picked up on this yet, but Miles and Aaron are mother and son.
I kind of figured that way. The way
so we got a little family thing going on.
Yeah, I kind of figured the way they were interacting. Right. Like, I'll just wait for him to bump him in the head when he said something wrong.
Give it a minute. Give it a minute.
This happened.
Oh, we've only been here 5 minutes.
Right.
Give us time. We'll get
It usually
back.
only takes about that long.
So let me ask, who got who into doing this? Son or mom?
Or actually, technically, it's both.
Yeah, it's a little bit of both.
You kind of decided together? Okay.
Yeah, I've done theater for many, many years in high school and after such. But he really likes the game Clue.
Okay.
And so we had actually just bought a game of Clue.
Yeah.
The board game. And maybe like 3 days later, I saw an advertisement on Facebook for the audition.
That's a little serendipitous.
And I was like, dude, look at this, check it out. And he's like, we're going.
Yeah, when she showed me, I'm like, we're going. End of story.
Yeah.
So you're a fan of the game. That's what got you. All right. So do you have a favorite character? Favorite
yes and no.
Like when I was a kid, I remember getting the things and I'm like, ooh, look at the cool knife, or I mean, you kind of dug the. Was there do you have your favorite pieces or favorite rooms or favorite characters in the?
Not really. I usually just play wherever and whenever.
Okay. Like I didn't know if you're secret. Like, oh, I hope it's plum. Or I hope it's mustard. Very cool. I love that. I think, and now I'm kind of wanting to know what your reaction to the movie is when you do eventually get around to seeing it and seeing what you thought of, how the live theater version versus the movie version is. But folks, if we would love to have everyone come on out. We got good news is you've got 6 performances ahead of you right now, so you got time. Opening weekend is this Friday night. Friday night and Saturday night. Those are 7:30 p.m. performances, and then on Sundays the matinee, which is at 2:30.
2:30.
I always get that confused at 2 or 2:30, but it's 2:30.
Well, it used to be 2, and then we made it 2:30 so people wouldn't get confused.
Gotcha.
Everything on the half hour.
It gives you an extra half hour to get out of church and get your meal and get all the stuff you're going to do before you head out to the play.
Right.
So, but and it'll be this weekend and next weekend. Now, hopefully you were listening earlier and things. There is a fun little game that we've got. Clue's a game, right? You gotta have a game with the game with the play and all that. So hopefully you're participating. But really beginning yesterday, they've started issuing out clues, and there's various supporters in town that are holding evidence, clue cards. Yep. And based on our clues, which I'll give today's again. I'm not going to redo yesterday's. Yeah. But you can go to RoswellTheater.com. Yes. Spell theater right, Theatre.
Exactly.
And then you can see what yesterday's clues. I'm going to make you do a little work there. Yeah. And then you can go on out and pick up the clues at the various things. But if you and basically what happens is you're going to hear the clues, and then each day this week, go to the business that you think is the answer to the clue. There'll be the clue card there if you got it right. Yep. And then go to any of the performances, whether it's this Friday or next Sunday afternoon, any of those performances, and they'll give you an opportunity to present your evidence. And then all the folks that present the correct evidence will be in a drawing to win a prize that evening or that afternoon. Yep. And then on the Sunday of the final performance, the 6 winners from each show will be put into another drawing to win an even cooler prize. Yeah. So if you'd like to play in that and have some fun with it on top of just going to see a play, get the kids involved, let them have some fun with it here too. And I think that could be a good family thing and make it part of it. And y'all, work hard this week trying to get all the clues and then decide what show works best for you guys to come and present your evidence. And who knows, you might get a sweet little prize. So.
You just might.
And all of it supporting the communal theater and the performing arts and really a way to thank your guys' supporters as well, because these are all businesses that either are supporting now or have supported through the years the communal theater. Well, whether it's giving them money or giving them props or and when not props, not like good job. I mean like props. I should clarify. Props for the stage. Although I'm sure there's a few attaboys in there too.
We'll take a pat on the back. It'll be all right.
Right. That's why we do it.
But and so we'd love to have you come be a part of it here. So
also the 12th. Thursday the 12th.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
There's going to be an immersive dinner.
Oh, you're going to do the dinner experience for this one. Yeah, very good.
The members of the cast will serve you.
Okay.
Yes.
And it'll be on stage here and everything, right?
Yes. That's right. And it's, what is it?
It's the menu?
Yeah.
Beef Wellington.
Beef Wellington, that's what it was.
And we have the celebrity chef. I can't remember.
Gordon Ramsay?
No.
Carrie Moore. Carrie Moore.
Carrie Moore.
Oh,
yes.
Bewitches.
Yes. And she's doing the
She does some
menu
good sandwiches if you haven't had those sandwiches.
She absolutely does.
Yeah.
Nice.
We'll have monkey brains, monkey bread.
Okay.
And a shark fin Texas toast in a soup that she's making.
Nice. With your beef Wellington.
With the beef Wellington.
Very cool.
So little hints of the show. And
I had to go to the Bellagio in Vegas to have beef Wellington.
Oh, you had to?
Such a terrible.
I had no other opportunity to get beef Wellington. So no, that was the only time I've had it. We were on vacation a few years ago. And we went to their buffet. And I was like, oh, beef Wellington's on it. Oh, look at this. And
my husband and I love Vegas. We got married there, so.
Oh, good for you. Yeah, the Bellagio has like on the weekends like a expensive buffet.
Yeah.
And it has like caviar.
They have an expensive everything.
Yeah.
It's Vegas, come on.
But
What do you expect?
I mean, like average schmo like me, expensive, and it was just. But yeah, they got to do things like caviar and stuff that most of us don't get to eat on a regular basis. And I tried all that mess, but that was the time one time I had beef Wellington.
Well, you'll have an opportunity to
the
do it
11th.
again.
You can do it again.
The 12th.
The 12th. The 12th. I'm sorry.
Thursday the 12th.
Now, what is it? Go through the website, theRoswelltheater.com to get
I believe
your
you can
tickets.
get your tickets there.
Probably the best way there, and that'll be again that Thursday, next Thursday.
Yep.
And that'll be at the theater. So come and have a meal, and then come back the next night for the show there,
That's
and
right.
all that too, while the cast serves. And all right, who's now? I got to ask if you're going to go and which member of the cast is a little clumsy when you want to avoid a little bit for maybe. No, I want the other person to hand me my
Mr. Green.
I just say, do you want the character that's clumsy or the actor that's clumsy?
The one that's going to keep me from wearing my beef Wellington.
I probably have to say, stay away from Mr. Green.
Okay,
Mr. Green.
Especially if it's thundering that night.
Right, yes.
Very good. Yeah, and that would be the one time it rains here in Roswell. You'll be here the day it happens.
Hey, we'll take it.
Exactly. We'll take every moisturing a bit. So let me ask the play, this version. How, is it very much like the movie? Is it a little bit different? Is it completely different? How much do they take from it, and how much do they kind of branch away from it?
I'd say 85 to 90% of it is like the movie.
Okay, so if you love the movie, then you're gonna love this.
You're gonna recognize this.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
I know obviously there's things you can do on screen that you can't do on stage, and so they probably had to rewrite to kind of make that fit in some of the things, and vice versa. There's things you can do on stage it's really hard to do in a theatrical version too. So. So how long is the cast? Because I know you guys have been working on this for a couple months now and everything. It's been, I mean, I know the schedule. What's the, is it every night for you guys? Now, this is something that folks don't realize is the dedication and commitment that the cast puts in. I know this once, the moment they audition and sign up and say, hey, we're going to do this, it's a commitment where they're devoting good hunks of their weeks to being out at the theater or at home, rehearsing, practicing, getting ready for this. So have you guys had any free time in the last month here, or has it been pretty much devoted to Clue?
Pretty much devoted to Clue. Except for Holy Week.
Yeah.
Kind of stopped for that.
It didn't stop, but there was also other stuff.
Slowed down.
Right. It just got busier.
So in between Easter celebrating, you were kind of like, all right, let me learn my lines here, let me study here, let me do that kind of stuff. So let's ask. I'm gonna start this way. What's your favorite parts about your character? What's the things that you're kind of you were drawn to it, and is there parts that you aren't drawn to it too as well? I'm going to get to each of you. I'm going to start this way for you and your character.
Well, the irony is I didn't start out having my character.
Okay.
I kind of earned my character. I was supposed to be just the props person.
Okay.
And then the lady that was cast as the cook couldn't fulfill.
Oh, so you kind of
the
stepped
position.
in and said,
so
all right.
it was like, hey, do you want this? Okay, all right.
So let me ask you
I mean,
this.
I'm here all the time anyway.
So let me ask you this: was it because, like you said, you've done theater? Was it kind of fun to get thrown in your lap last minute a little bit?
It was.
I mean, because there's a challenge to
Right,
that. So,
right.
So was that fun for you? And obviously when you hear it, like, oh my gosh, but once you settle down into it, you're kind of like, yeah, I kind of dig it, you know?
Right.
So was that like that for you on this?
Yeah,
one?
pretty much.
Okay.
Pretty much. Yeah, it was nice to actually get a part. I wasn't sad that I didn't get a part when we auditioned.
Yeah.
Because there were a lot of great actors that were out there. So it was a guess, and by golly, when you only have a certain number of, 13 characters to fill and
Right.
25 people auditioning, obviously not everybody's going to get a part.
Sure.
So, I was like, I will do props. He got a part. That's great. Yeah. And, okay, now I have a part. All right, we can do this.
And since you mentioned it, real quick, I want to throw that plug in is if you want to get involved with the community little theater, it's not always being on the front of stage. Like, if you're like, I don't want nothing to do with acting or singing, no.
Yeah. Right.
There are so many roles behind the scenes, whether it's props, whether it's costuming, whether it's sitting in the booth for sound and light, whether it's helping.
Stage manager.
Yeah, stage management, helping with props, helping building sets, helping with ushering and just ticket taking and doing all the ancillary things that that are needed to run a theater.
Running the concessions.
We'd love to have volunteers. All of it's volunteer operations, or even serving on the board. I'm sure. I'm sure you got a lot of great people that serve on the board, but they've been doing it for a while, and they probably get tired of doing it after a while, and it's time to get new people to. So if folks are interested in that way, we'd love to have serve because. It's and I know this. I don't know everything, but I know enough to know that when you guys do plays and things, the board it's way in advance. Like these guys decided to do Clue not like last week. This was probably a year plus ago when it was put on the schedule and everything like that. And that's kind of where the board serves and says, all right, where are we going here? Obviously, people are putting in their I want to do this one, and then they kind of.
I was sketching set designs during COVID lockdown in 2020.
so that's what I'm saying. This is what we're talking about. This is not just we're going to show up one day. This is, in many cases, years of preparation to get this done.
Yeah, we've already got our 22-23 and 23-24 seasons planned.
That's
scheduled.
It goes that far out. So this is I know we talk and everything has a very spontaneous feel and everything, but there's a lot of people,
a lot of planning ahead
and a
of
lot
time.
of planning that are going on here. So all right, I got sidetracked.
No worries.
It never happens on this show.
It's not like the Busby Berkeley movies where it's, hey, gang,
exactly. But all right, for your character, what's your for Mr. Body? What's kind of like, is there parts you love, parts you hate, parts, what's your...
Well, with Mr. Body, I was actually, whenever I first auditioned, I was originally an extra, aka like one of the cops. And then...
so you, like your mom, you kind of, as need arise, you got to step up.
Yeah, the person who was originally playing Colonel Mustard had to quit. Okay. And then he took the position, but he was originally Mr. Body. And then I took the position of Mr. Body.
So
we definitely have to be a little bit flexible.
Yes.
Well, good news is you got a promotion. Now you're
That's
yeah, so now I'm both Mr. Body and the cop.
Okay.
And
so now it's dual role.
Which
is something that happens in theater.
Yes, it is.
And guess what? You might play different sexes and everything else.
Right.
Too. You might be wearing a dress on stage. That's what happens.
Been there, done that.
Yeah.
But as Mr. Body, I like him because he's just this mysterious character that no one knows exactly who or what he is.
Gotcha.
Like, he comes in and everyone's like, who's this?
Right.
And Mr. Body just acts like it's all okay and just rolls with it.
Nice. Gotcha. So he's kind of, I get it. Okay. Yeah. And plus, like you said, when we think of Clue, we don't think of Mr. Body. We think of Colonel Mustard, Professor Plum,
Right.
all the The famous ones.
In the game, Mr. Body's already dead.
Yeah.
And that's who we're trying to figure out.
And so
we're trying to figure out who killed Mr. Body.
Right.
It's a little on the nose, right? The guy's name.
And it's a double D body. Right?
Yeah.
They didn't do much research on the creativity of the name.
He's a body. We'll call him Mr. Body.
We got to
It's
remember,
great.
it was a Parker Brothers board game. You know? They weren't thinking of Gone with the Wind when they made it. But that's what's fun about it too.
Yep.
So now I'm curious, since you're a board game fan, is there a dream like one you wanted to do? Like you're like, I would love to be,
I wanted to be Colonel Mustard or Professor Plum.
Okay. Well, they're the big guns, right?
Yeah.
Plum and Mustard are the two.
And then I was
big
thrown
names.
in as an extra.
The Scarlet. I mean,
But it's better than nothing. You start somewhere.
Well, and now let me ask, like your mother's done. So, is this your first opportunity doing theater?
Yes and no.
Okay.
I don't even know how many years ago I was in a vacation Bible school and we did a play that was over Moses and the Ten Commandments.
Got you. So
That
you did
was-
kind of church theater and things like that.
That was my
but-
first and only theater experience.
Well, now you're.
So now he's got the real theater experience.
So let me ask you this: are you bit with the bug? Like now it Clue's over. Are you ready to? Are you like, man, I want to see what's next, and I want to see if there's anything I can audition for the next play.
I do want to see what is next, but depending on the play, I may or may not audition.
Gotcha.
Like if it's not something that seems interesting to me, then I'm not going to audition. But if it seems like even a little bit intriguing, then I will go check it out, see what it's about.
Now I'm curious. Like they're gonna say, no. What I know this is not what's next, but I'll be like, if it's Steel Magnolias, I can see. I know that's not next, but it's just just the first thing that popped in my head. I want to throw out there, but all right. For Colonel Mustard, for you, what's like you said, you were originally Mr. Body, ended up being Colonel Mustard here. What's is there aspects of this character you kind of digging or fun or vice versa, ones you're not so much?
He gets to live.
This is true.
He's one of
Mustard
those.
doesn't die.
Spoiler alert.
That was his real goal. I want to move up to another position so I don't die.
It is Clue.
No, that was one of the parts that I really wanted was Colonel Mustard.
Cool.
Cool. So now I get to do it. It's just fun.
Now, like when you, for you, is it do you look at the card and like, all right, what is this guy like? Or you do the movie, or is it your own thing? You know?
Well, I watched the movie, but you really can't play somebody else's character.
Yeah.
You know, you've got to make the character your own. I mean, you can look at what Martin Mull did and think, oh yeah, that was kind of funny.
Sure.
Yeah.
But
And Mull's
he's
got a certain.
Yeah, he's him and I'm me.
Yeah. Mull's kind of got that almost dry humor to him, where he's not going to hit you boisterously. He's going to get you low underneath and make you laugh that way.
Right.
And I can see that.
And we have a different director than the movie had.
Gotcha.
And she's got her vision of the show.
Sure.
Right.
So but I almost one would look at because you definitely look at the cards in the game, and they've got that Aristotic air to all of the characters. So to me, I almost would look at it and be like, what would this guy sound like? And and you start thinking, all right, and then there's probably some kind of combination of Captain Crunch and Moby Dick going on
Captain
there.
Kangaroo.
Moby Dick. I mean, I don't know. There's something going on. Captain Ahab and Captain Crunch mixed together. I don't know.
You almost need Captain Kangaroo pockets to put the weapons in.
That's true.
Right.
It's true.
No, I have a duffel bag.
So for you as director, let me like when you're watching and directing and giving the actors notes and things, which like is your vision just the script, or do you kind of look at it like I see it a different way and want to put it this way?
Well, me as a director, I always, you start with the script.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where the ideas all come from.
Sure.
But then I take a lot from what the actors give me.
Right.
So if I've done my job correctly in casting, then my vision kind of just happens because
I'm going to do an analogy.
we got the right people. Yeah.
And I don't know if it's a good one, but this is how I relate, maybe others. It's kind of like a football coach. When a football coach has got his football team, some of the best ones, the football coach will be like, I'm a run-heavy guy or I'm a pass-heavy, whatever their philosophy is. But generally, the best ones say, well, what's my talent at the moment?
Right.
I need to come up with a scheme that maximizes their strength. So is that kind of like what you're saying?
Exactly.
Is like, the script's just got the guidelines here, but what are these folks good at? Let's make that. We're going to enhance that, and the things they're not so good at, we're going to kind of, shadow a little bit, hide under a basket.
Right.
If you will.
And they develop the rapport between each other, and they find their relationships with the other actors on stage as well. In a way that's different than what the actors in the movie would have.
Yeah, good deal. And so I would love to invite folks to come out and see this.
Absolutely.
If you've never, and I think this is a great one for even folks that are kind of like poo-poo live theater or musicals, that kind of thing, because this one it's a subject matter we're all familiar. Clue is everyone knows Clue. You know what I mean? It's right there with Mickey Mouse and McDonald's. We all know Clue. You know,
and it's a complete release from reality.
Yeah,
so.
absolutely. It's a fun couple hours of coming out and just having a good time. So make it a date night. Make it a family night. Make it, I don't have any friends, I'm going to come meet new people. I don't know, whatever that is. I'd love to come on out.
If nothing else, you can come shake hands with us out of the show.
Yeah, come meet the cast. Come, and maybe you're new to town and like, I love theater. Come out to one of the shows here, meet the cast, meet the crew, and get involved here, and come see the facilities. Because, and this is another thing, man, just all the time. But Roswell Communal Theater is. You guys are pretty fortunate in that you have more assets than a lot of little theaters have across the country. You have your own facility, which is in and of itself a huge deal. And obviously that's awesome, but it's also immense responsibility. So I know that you guys have been working on paying for a new roof here and all that. So from this perspective, you coming out and supporting these shows, you're helping them. All this money goes back into the program, back to the facility, back into to making sure the CAPS program, all the things that are part of the community little theater. You coming out and enjoying these shows continue that to happen. And to be honest, I imagine dictates also what the planning of this is. You know, when things like this are popular, they're going to say, "Ooh, we got more people coming to these shows.
Exactly.
Maybe we should start planning these type of shows." And so the board and everyone that's deciding are looking off of, well, how many people showed up to this one? So you know, you got like your last production had a lot of people. That says, you know, and I know for a fact they're like, "Oh, we need to plan a sequel. We need to do more because that was." And so. If you love Clue, if you love this, come support it. Come be a part of it.
Absolutely.
And that's the biggest signal you send to the board of directors. And saying, we want more of this. We want more of this kind of stuff. So come be a part. It's family-friendly, fun atmosphere. Come play in the game, too. Come look for the clues. Let me give you today's clue again. Like I said, I'm going to make you work for yesterday's. But you got today's. Today's clue, meet Professor Plum's friend Oscar, where you can find ancient rocks and fossils from the ancients of days. So, I didn't say they're hard clues. You're a little bit smarter. We don't need to be ace detectives, just detective lights to figure these one out. But you can do it and come in and get the clue. And then go back to RoswellTheater.com to get yesterday's clue, or I think there might be on the Facebook wall too, as well too. On the just look for Roswell Communal Theater on Facebook as well there too. And then don't forget performance of Clue this Friday night, this Saturday night. Those are 7:30 p.m. performances, and then Sunday afternoon at 2:30. And if this weekend's not looking good for you, then we got next weekend as well. Friday night, Saturday night again at 7:30, Sunday afternoon at 2:30. You can order tickets in advance right now, again at RoswellTheater.com. Don't forget they spell theater like live theater, Theatre. If you don't remember anything, just Google RCLT, Roswell Communal, it'll pop right up.
Sunday is Mother's Day. Bring your mama.
Oh, that's right. This Sunday is Mother's Day. What better way to celebrate Mom than taking her out to a show? And, you know, maybe get her some tickets to the Thursday night dinner.
Right.
That won't be on Mother's Day, but you say, all right, Mom, we're gonna take you to dinner. It'll be a couple days after next Thursday, and then get her tickets. So take her to the show Sunday. Have her meet the cast and characters, and then have them serve them beef Wellington on Thursday night. Here. And what's the cost on tickets for the dinner? Do you know off the top of your head? I'm sure it's on the website.
It's a little bit more than the past.
Well,
dinners
it's beef
have been
Wellington,
because
I would
it's beef
expect
Wellington,
it,
yeah.
I think it's like in the neighborhood of $50 a day.
Okay, very nice. So
it might have bumped up to 60 or something.
It's
like
a
that,
date
but
night,
yeah.
or it's just treat your mom to dinner. Right. You know, it's something little. You know, get a little, make it a thing. Get some fancy duds, and you know, don't have to wear tuxes and stuff.
Yeah.
But you know, make it a date night.
you
Thing.
could.
Make it
You
sure
could.
if you want.
Yeah.
If you want, you know.
Dress as your favorite character for
There you go.
There
You have dueling Professor Plums,
There you
or
go.
dueling Colonel Mustard,
Or dueling bodies.
or dueling
The
bodies.
bodies.
The body don't eat much.
Extra helping.
I have his beef, but he don't need it.
They come in and just lay on the table dead.
That's right. Service here stinks. Just lying around. But we would love to have everyone come be a part of this. Again, RoswellTheater.com. It's a lot of fun. It's a good time. You're going to come and laugh. You're going to have we all can use a little bit of fun here, and come support the communal theater, support our local actors, our local group here. They work, these individuals here and your other castmates and other folks that are associated with are busting their tail doing this. There's a constant, I've done enough stuff with the communal theater, know they have a great core of people that they work god-awful, endless hours in there, doing set design, costume design. They live, breathe, and eat this stuff. And I'm like, you guys should go home once in a while. But they love it and they do it. So come support it. Come support and get involved. But you know what? If you want to get, while you're there and you want to learn more about the community, ask for a tour.
Yes.
Have them take you behind the stage.
Yeah.
There's a whole nother world back there. They got rooms just full of costumes and props, and it's an amazing thing that they got back there. So
The little theater is not as little as it seems.
It's not.
No, definitely not. The tickets for the immersive dinner are $65.
$65. Thank you very much.
Not a problem.
And show tickets are just $10, if I remember right.
I believe so, yeah.
If I remember off the top of my head, I think that's usually about what it is. But again, and then, of course, tickets will be available at the door.
The price of a movie on popcorn and a movie.
There you go. Exactly. It's way cheaper than that, actually. You get popcorn.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Right.
Popcorn, as much as that beef Wellington you're charging. You're not charging for popcorn. But come out, be a part of it. Get your tickets and support it. It's going to be a fun time. I guarantee you're going to have a great time. And for those anti-musical people, bringing them along, it's going to be, I guarantee they're going to be the people that at first they're going to, and then they're going to be sitting there with their teeth out laughing and having a good time. I guarantee it.
And there's no singing.
There is no
Oh, yeah,
singing.
this is not a musical.
Yeah.
This is a flute. It's like
At the end. There's one line.
Yeah, no, at
tiny,
the end.
Tiny bit.
Oh, just a little singing. So
Yep.
you
But
can plug
the
your
cast
ears if
kept-
it really bugs you.
They kept telling me, you are not going to turn this into a musical. No, that's what I normally do.
No.
I kept
Hold my beer.
I kept telling Kathy that if we make this into a musical, you're getting a new actor.
You're going to need a whole
You
other
have to
cast.
find a new dead guy.
That can be arranged.
The dead guy sings a line anyway.
I'm going to make you such a good actor, you're not going to have to act no more. Well, thank you guys for joining us here. Break a leg and come out and see them beginning this Friday night. And again, go to RoswellTheater.com, get your tickets, and learn more about upcoming shows, the kids' arts program. If you have children, I would highly recommend getting them into. They learn every aspect of theater, not just acting, and they learn life skills through that.
Yeah.
So get your kid, learn more about. If you come out to one of the shows, ask about the CAPS program. They'll be happy to tell you more about that. Too.
Absolutely.
Good deal. Well, thank you guys.
Thank
you.
And
Thank you.
appreciate the visit, and we look forward to see you as your respective characters here this weekend and next.
You betcha.
All right. Don't go kill nobody this weekend.
Man, you take the fun out of it.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
It is 8:57. Quick break before news. Don't go away.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. Spirit Airlines said Monday that it still supports Frontier Airlines' $2.9 billion takeover bid for the airline, saying it was more likely to win regulatory approval than JetBlue's competing $3.6 billion offer. Spirit said regulators are unlikely to approve JetBlue's offer because of JetBlue's alliance with American Airlines in the Northeast. Amazon workers at a warehouse on Staten Island rejected a union bid on Monday, dealing a blow to organizers who last month pulled off the first successful U.S. organizing effort in the retail giant's history. This time around, warehouse workers cast 618 votes, or 62%, against the union. Poland is urging its European Union partners to unite and impose sweeping sanctions on Russia's oil and natural gas sectors over the war in Ukraine, and not to cave into pressure to pay for their gas in Russian rubles. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in
When you're not feeling well, the last thing you want to worry about is how soon you can get in to see your healthcare provider, or even finding a provider if you don't have one. Well, now you can feel better, knowing that the Loveless Healthcare Center in Roswell offers appointments for when you're not feeling well, or for checkups, annual exams, or any chronic issues that need attention. To schedule an appointment or to find a new healthcare provider, call 575-625-3222 today.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too, and that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. But our part-time service in the Army National Guard means we get to be more. When our communities are in need, we get the chance to stand up and do something about it. We get to serve in our own region and help the people we call neighbors. Whether they are in the mountains of New Mexico, the plains of Nebraska and Kansas, the ranches of Oklahoma and Texas, the farmlands of Missouri and Arkansas, or the bayous of Louisiana, we are here for our hometowns. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
No static at all. Your new home for talk radio is KEND Roswell.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. He says liberals want to rip the blindfold off Lady Justice, part of Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell's reaction to the leak of what is purportedly a Supreme Court draft opinion, allegedly authored by Justice Samuel Alito. It indicates that the High Court is set to overturn Roe versus Wade. President Biden's reaction?
In a White House statement, the president argues that the basic fairness and the stability of our law demand that the court not overturn the 1973 case that legalized abortion nationwide. He says his administration is preparing for all eventualities for when the court ultimately rules, and he vows to work toward codifying the right to abortion into federal law.
White House correspondent Greg Clugston. The first convoy of civilians to escape a battered steel plant in Mariupol has now reached relative safety in Zaporizhia, a city that's still in Ukrainian hands. Meanwhile, defenders of the steel plant say that the Russian invaders have started to storm the last pockets of Ukrainian resistance. And Russia is said to be looking at ways to consolidate its hold on eastern Ukraine by annexing much of the region.
Michael Carpenter, U.S. Ambassador to the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe, warned Russia will also recognize the southern city of Kherson as independent. Carpenter believes Russia has been planning a sham referendum in Donetsk and Luhansk regions in order to create a veneer of electoral legitimacy. There are also signs that Russia is intending to engineer an independence vote in Kherson. Carpenter confirmed that neither move would be recognized by the United States or its allies. I'm Karen Chamas.
A wildfire near the small northeastern New Mexico community of Las Vegas continues to burn, although authorities are encouraged by a better firefighting weather forecast. Watching Wall Street, the Dow is down 9 points, the S&P trading 7 points higher. More on these stories, townhall.com.
I'm about to compare a pepper shaker to a cash-out refinance. Hang with me. You know when you're at a restaurant and they ask, would you like some fresh ground pepper? And then they crank that giant tube, but almost nothing comes out? For me, only a certain amount of time is socially acceptable to wait. I know that getting that pepper out might make my life better, but it just seems too impossible. And that's what we hear people say about the cash-out refinance. People realize that the value of their home has gone up like hot pepper the last few years, leaving all this extra money sitting inside their home. But is it too hard to get out? It's Ryan from United Faith Mortgage. If you're interested in cashing out the extra pepper in your home, we're good at doing all the work while you just sit back and relax. And often,
your mortgage payment and years in the loan will stay the same. If you'd like to hear about your options,
we are United Faith Mortgage.
United Faith Mortgage is a DBA of United Mortgage Corp. 25 Melville Park Road, Melville, New York. Licensed mortgage banker. For all licensing information, go to NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Corporate NMLS number 1330. Equal housing lender. Licensed in Alaska, Hawaii, Georgia, North Dakota, South Dakota, or Utah.
Bipartisan group of senators asking the Biden administration to speed up its probe of solar components manufactured in several Asian countries.
The administration announced in March it was investigating solar panel components being constructed in Cambodia, Malaysia, Vietnam, and Thailand. The Commerce Department fears China may be using proxy manufacturers there to bypass tariffs. That's not the concern, however, of more than 24 senators who signed a letter written by Nevada Senator Jackie Rosen. Their concern is that imposing tariffs now could delay the president's plan for solar installations and cost up to 100,000 jobs in the solar industry. Bob Agnew reporting.
An unusually early and brutal heat wave is scorching parts of India with acute power shortages affecting millions as demand for electricity surges to record levels. Supplies of coal at many power plants running dangerously low, spawning daily outages across several states. Townhall.com. The next presidential election still a couple of years off, but that is not too soon for some would-be candidates to start sizing up their prospects.
Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson says he is weighing a presidential run, and his decision will not be affected by whether former President Donald Trump joins the race. Hutchinson, a two-term Republican governor restricted by state law from a third term, says Trump, quote, did a lot of good things, but the GOP needs to go in a different direction. Jason Walker reporting.
Australia's central bank hiking its benchmark interest rate for the first time in more than 11 years, a move potentially damaging to a government that will be seeking re-election on May 21st. Australia's inflation rate hit 5.1% in the year through March. The end of Wall Street, the Dow up 38 points. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. Leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Tracing Viernos
of Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Tuesday.
See, welcome to it.
Yeah.
Buenos martes.
Yeah, enjoy your Slight Chance of Sprinkles today.
Slight Chance of Sprinkles was my band name in high school.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I love it.
We, it was progressive polka. We didn't do much.
No. Imagine I'm surprised about that. Wouldn't be
kind of hard to. It was a hard sell. Our ska rendition of the Chicken Dance was a real no-go.
Yeah, turns out the combat boots are a little bit big for chicken dancing.
You ever slam dance to the Pennsylvania polka? I'll tell you what, it's a tough endeavor if you want to try to pull it off, but
yeah,
it's rather satisfying when you do.
In my head, I picture ska dancers, the Munchkins from Wizard of Oz, but angry.
I mean, you're not wrong. It is a lot of kick. You know, I wonder if that's why I have hip issues, because of all my ska dancing.
I'm a ska dancer.
Yeah, I was aggressive hip kicking. Dun, 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 dun. You guys made trombones and trumpets sound gnarly.
I owe my back problems to the mighty, mighty Boss Tones.
Darn you, OC Supertones!
Oh, man.
What was the other one? There was a Christian, it wasn't even ska band. It was, oh man. There was one band I was just super into.
A Christian band?
A Christian ska. It was like
Christian ska. Interesting.
Yeah. Well, I had to listen to Christian music because, God Boy.
I just didn't know they had a ska. I'm not familiar with Christian ska.
They had an album called Our Latest Album Ever. I remember that.
Okay.
And I'm trying to find it. Okay. Five Iron Frenzy. That's the band. I was super into the band Five Iron Frenzy back in the day.
I'm not familiar with Five Iron Frenzy.
Five Iron Frenzy.
Yeah.
It was a Christian ska band. I'm not sure if they're even still together, but I was aggressively into that band back in the day. I'm trying to find a sample of some of their songs. They had like Sucker Punch.
These are Christian bands?
Yes.
Because when I think of God, I think of Sucker Punch.
Well, you gotta appeal to the young people, Mike.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So come on now.
I missed that part in the Bible about Sucker Punch.
Let's see. Oh, actually, here's Sucker Punch right here.
Okay.
Hang on, so I can get to play.
It's Christians. I'm assuming it's safe for radio.
Oh yeah. That's half the appeal. Oh, it's playing on my computer in the other studio. Let me get this worked out, and I'll.
All right. Well, you. Oh, here you go. Ska, all right.
I remember this song vividly.
So sitting in the corner with a finger up my nose, and my shoelaces untied again. Another day of school with my friends.
Christian music didn't have to always just be about God.
I just
It was more just like
there's a theme there.
A dorker, so to speak, tongue in cheek.
Yep. It sounds like ska.
So it was the whole message of the song was basically I was a nerd, I'm a geek, but even God loves me.
Well,
yep.
You've just awakened the munchkins.
I'm gonna have to go back. I'm gonna have to go back and do a re-listen, man. Five Iron Frenzy, OC Supertones. You're unlocking some stuff up in me right now.
Why isn't there a Ska Lollipop Guild song?
I'm sure there is. I'm sure.
Dun, 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 we're members of the Lollipop Guild. Dun, dun, dun,
It lends itself well to ska.
It's
The
that same
Lollipop
beat.
Guild, and in the name of the Lollipop Guild, we'd like to welcome you to Munchkin. Yeah, I could.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, it totally lends itself to a mashup. Dude, that just triggered some like mid-school memories for me.
He's all reminiscent now.
It was not a good time for me, like socially or like emotionally.
Yeah.
But man, the music was good.
That movie stunk, but it had a good soundtrack.
Great soundtrack.
Let me give you the rundown
Yes.
for this hour of the show. We'll get you up to date with the weather, with those sprinkles here in just a little bit. And then, which started the ska thing.
That's where it was.
Sprinkles.
Gotta try to find her.
And then here in just a little bit after that, we're going to have the folks from the Roswell Elks join us here. I believe it'll be Craig Sutherland and Art Moyle. They're going to join us, and they're talking about their 13th annual Elks for Vets charity golf tournament. That's going to be coming up here June 4th. We got time to be a sponsor and to sign up your teams. So we'll talk about that, and of course get an update on what's going on with the Elks from them here. And so we'll do that here in just a little bit.
Indeed.
Later on this hour, we'll get you up to date with the news of the local variety, along with your handy update, town hall business, and whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. I'm trying to think, is there one ska? I don't like any ska. I just don't.
Real Big Fish, Never Big
Nothing.
Mighty
Less Than
Mighty
Jake.
Boston.
None of those. I mean, they're fine in the background, but when they're really ska like that,
right?
Like there's like Less Than Jake had a few that weren't.
Yeah,
they were more
this was like
Irishy than
full
ska.
in, we have brass instruments in our band.
Yeah, Less Than Jake, you can almost be as like an Irish rock band as much as a ska band.
What about I mean, I would even argue that like Blues Traveler to an extent is kind of like
but that's
some of their stuff has been.
That's more
lends itself
bluesy
to ska.
to me.
It is.
Like there isn't that like you know what it is.
What was that one big Boss Tone song?
It's horns. I don't like horns in rock music.
Well, it can work.
It can. I don't like it.
So you're strictly S&M, Symphony and Metallica. I'm trying to think. Because there was some brass instruments on S&M, and it worked then.
Well, that was because it was one album and it was an orchestra.
No Leaf Clover is still one of my favorite songs.
And it's also, that's a different, that's classical music. and
Mighty Mighty Boss Tones isn't.
And the songs that we were doing were not originally classic songs.
Fair enough. I'm having a hard time trying to come up with one Mighty Mighty Boss Tones song, and it was literally the one that was featured in one of my favorite movies of all time, Basketball.
Yeah.
What is that doggone song?
It was Knock on Wood there?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Knock on Wood.
Yeah, what about that song? Never had to knock on wood.
It's fine, except for it's got that same riff that every other ska song. That same riff. It's to me, I'm like, why aren't you all suing each other? Because it sounds like the same music bed in every song to me.
Oh.
But
I'm glad I haven't yet.
That and I think I was kind of like, well, it's not my favorite, but I can deal with it. And then I saw ska dancing, and then I was out.
Yeah,
I'm like, I'm
admittedly,
out.
that's a pretty good spot to get out.
That's why I'm like, no, this is some kind of weird fetish. I'm out.
I have a distinct memory of being like stage side at a Christian ska show when I was a kid and getting literally blasted in the face, like point blank, by a smoke machine.
Yeah.
And having that like sickly sweet smell of the smoke in my sinus cavity or whatever, all while the horn rock was washing over me. It was
well, he's stomping in a circle.
It was a good memory.
Madly swinging his
magnet. Ooh, chick magnet. MXPX, dude, that was another one that was like, it was kind of like on the cusp of ska, but they leaned more towards like mainstream.
Yeah, a little skatery rock kind of thing too.
It was okay. So MXPX, Five Iron Frenzy, Supertones, those were bands that I felt like were cool, but I could still get away with listening to cool music around my parents because it was Christian.
Gotcha.
So, yeah. That was my rebellion. Woohoo! I'm not listening to hymns, Mom and Dad. Take that, Victory in Jesus. I'm listening to Christian ska. Woo.
Gonna
go down to youth group and have hot dogs.
We're members of the Lollipop Guild. It's 9:15. I'm spent. Let's move on. Here's your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Still pretty warm today, but we do have a cold front edging in from the northeast, and that'll bring us gusty wind and lots of sunshine. Our high will stay in the upper 80s, and that wind gusting at 30 to 35 miles per hour through the day. Some clouds for the overnight hours, down to a low of 60 and windy, and then we're back up to the 90-degree mark on Wednesday, sunny and breezy. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 53 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 48%. Winds currently out of the northeast at 9 miles per hour. We do have a fire weather watch that's going to kick in at noon today. That will remain in effect through 8 p.m. this evening, due mainly because of winds and temps and humidity dropping. But we got that problem solved with the humidity because we got a chance of sprinkles today, folks. A slight chance of sprinkles after 4 p.m. today. That'll solve all the problems. Sunny otherwise with a high of 85. East winds 10 to 15. But later in the day, they're going to be picking up 15 to 20, gusting as high as 30 miles per hour. Tonight, we're still looking at a slight chance of some more of those sprinkles up to about 10 o'clock tonight. Mostly cloudy otherwise with an overnight low of 58. Winds will remain breezy out of the south, 20 to 25. Gusting as high as 30 miles per hour. They will drop down 10 to 15 after midnight tonight. Let's see. For your Wednesday, mostly cloudy. Early, gradually becoming sunny with highs near 90, 89 tomorrow. West winds 10 to 15 early. Later in the day, 15 to 20. Gusting as high as 30 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, mostly clear. Overnight low of 52. Northwest winds 15 to 20. Decreasing down 10 to 15 after midnight. Thursday, sunny and 88, northwest winds 10 to 15. Friday, sunny and hot, highs back up in the upper 90s, 97. And then looks like Saturday we got a chance at breaking the century mark. Sunny and hot, highs near 101 expected, but it's going to be breezy. And then Sunday, they're talking sunny, hot, windy with a high of around 96. could see some blowing dust then, too. All right, it is 17 minutes after 9 o'clock. Let's go ahead and we're going to take about a 3-minute commercial break here, and then we'll talk with our Roswell Elks here about their Veterans Golf Tournament coming up here in June. That's up next. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters. Wilbanks Trucking Services in Artesia is seeking dedicated and motivated individuals to join their team. Immediate openings include CDL drivers with pay starting at $25 to $33 per hour depending on experience. Riggers with pay starting at $20 per hour and open positions for lease operators. Wilbanks Trucking Services offers full benefits including medical, dental, vision, 401k, and housing for out-of-town employees. For more information on career opportunities, please call 575-746-6318 or online at wilbanks.us. Wilbanks Trucking Services is an equal opportunity employer.
When you think of home health care here in Roswell, what's the first thing that pops into your head? That's right, Frontier Medical. We've been doing it better than anyone else for over 20 years. From in-home nursing to physical therapy and so much more. Doctors and hospitals from Albuquerque to Lubbock and everywhere in between have been trusting their patients to us here at Frontier Medical. So when it's time to make a choice, remember Frontier Medical. 575-627-1112. Frontier Medical. To remember.
I have a snake for your drain. You might want to step back.
Oh no, baby.
All AC units moke a little. Is normal.
Oh no, baby.
Haha, now your sprinkler system's strong like bull.
Come on now. Don't let any fool work on your plumbing and air conditioning. Fergalicious. From clogged drains to sprinkler systems, Fergie's Plumbing and Heating is on the job. And who are you going to call for air filters and spring servicing on your AC unit? Fergalicious. Call Fergie's today, 622-2660. Nothing but love. Fergalicious.
To plant or not to plant? That is the question. Hi, this is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. Our tomato plants and pepper plants are ready to go. If you plant them now, you might have homegrown tomatoes and peppers before anyone else. Or the frost might kill them. As Clint Eastwood would say, do you feel lucky? You'll either be the smartest gardener in the county or you'll get to replant them all over again. I say go for it. You'll get more practice and we'll get more business. This is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company, and I apologize to William Shakespeare.
Come join in the fun. The United Way of Eddy County presents the Cinco de Mayo Golf Tournament, Saturday, May 7th at Riverside Country Club with a 9 a.m. start and over $1,000 in payouts per flight. Plus, raffle prizes, breakfast provided, mulligans available, and so much more. For more info, call Maria Cole at the United Way at 575-887-3504 or contact the Riverside Country Club. Live united at the United Way of Eddy County Cinco de Mayo Golf Tournament, Saturday, May 7th at the Riverside Country Club, 1700 West Orchard Lane in Carlsbad.
You are 13.8% more likely to die on your birthday. Think about that the next time you want to celebrate your birthday month. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 20 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from our local Roswell Elks Lodge here, we have Magel Duran. We also have Art Moyle and Craig Sutherland as well. Good morning, gentlemen. Morning. Probably let's get you, Magel, right close to. Okay. Oh, yeah, I forgot to tell you, you got to eat the microphone. They don't taste good, but you got to eat them. So, gentlemen, first off, good morning. How y'all doing today?
Fine. Well done, bro.
Yeah. Well, we can keep. We're getting pretty good at it at this point, you know. And we were just joking the other day. I said golfers look at wind as just an obstacle. That's not it. I mean, and to be honest, they'd probably go in the thunderstorm if you didn't make them get off. To be honest, they'd still be golfing. So, just wind doesn't stop golfers from around here. But first off, let's talk a little bit about the Elks first before we get into the golf tournament and everything. Of course, we've had. Not yourselves, but members of the Elks join us here on the show. Great organization, obviously international work. You guys you focus on youth mostly, right? That's kind of, I mean, you guys do a bunch, but you guys kind of have a special soft spot for youth, and that's kind of where you focus a lot of your charity stuff, right?
Youth and veterans.
Yes.
Veterans is a big thing that we have.
Which makes sense because this is a vets thing, so I probably should have left with that too. Yeah. But I know in the past you guys have done a lot of stuff with kids and things too. Yeah. So.
Correct.
So
cerebral palsy is another.
Is that one of the? That's kind of the national Elks adopted charity resource that they go and support and things like that. But I know COVID like everyone else, has put a damper on many of the things you guys have been trying to do over with your. I know, like the basketball tournaments. That's something that the Elks nationally do, and I know they've had stuff, but it's way different now because of COVID and things.
Absolutely.
But it sounds like you guys are able to start now that the world's opening up a little bit. That you're able to get back to doing your more regular schedule stuff. I know you guys have been doing like your veterans and first responders meals and breakfast, things like that. We've been able to do all that, but now we need to do some fundraising and things like that. So we'd love to get a bunch of people to be a part of your golf tournament here in June, right?
Correct. We'll have 25 teams on June 4th.
June 4th. And again, it'll be June 4th, and it's I forget
at the Institute.
This is at the NMMI golf course.
Yes,
there.
correct.
So I'm guessing like right now you're probably looking for teams and probably some sponsorship opportunities.
A lot of sponsorship. It's been tough with the pandemic and everything else. A lot of the business has been really, really hurt, and so we're really having to scrape and get what we're wanting to do. We're hoping to raise around $30,000.
Awesome. So, and I imagine some of your reliable resources probably, like you said, times were tough for everybody, and businesses, first thing they do when they're trying to, keep their businesses afloat, they're going to scale back on some of their charitable stuff. So I imagine some of your sponsors in the past aren't able to give as much or can't give this year. So we really need to find new folks and other folks to step up and say, hey, because at the end of the day, the veterans' needs don't change and the veterans' needs don't go away regardless of what world we live in. So we got to keep working and keep raising money for these things.
Mike, I'd like to point out that all of the money that is raised goes to veterans.
Awesome.
This particular one, June 4th, is for transportation, which Miguel Duran.
Yes, the Veterans Transportation, which you guys do yeoman's work for folks here.
Thank you.
I would argue if you want to help veterans, the quickest and easiest way is support the veterans transport, because it's really, you've got some great partners that work with you, Crumland, the Elks here, among others. But at the end of the day, it's volunteers, people that, many of them veterans themselves, driving vans and driving veterans that can't get themselves to Lubbock, Albuquerque, Artesia, wherever their medical appointments are.
If I could add, we cover, as the Southeast New Mexico Veterans Transportation. I have a van in Lovington, I have a van in Carlsbad, and 2 vans in Artesia, and 6 vans here in Roswell.
Nice.
We cover an area of, we go to El Paso, Lubbock, Midland, Odessa, Big Springs, Amarillo, Albuquerque, Clovis, and all the way up to Alamogordo if a veteran has a medical appointment. We travel and we give them the travel for free.
Yeah.
We take no money from any vet. 60% of the veterans we estimate now would not be able to make it if we weren't here.
And VA services, unfortunately, I saw it in the news. They're withdrawn, like they're like some of this remote stuff is going, like they're downscaling, so that's probably going to make your mission a little harder, because you're probably going to have to travel even a little farther for some of these folks, depending on what the VA ultimately does with closing and opening some of these facilities we're talking about here. So and oh, by the way, gas is what, $4 a gallon right now, and all of that stuff, and you guys are driving vans, and so I imagine it's it's $100 just to put half a tank in that thing probably right now.
Pretty much. To go to Albuquerque, we fill up here, go to Albuquerque, refill there, and come home and refill again.
Wow. So that's expensive.
Even if we take 1 or 5 veterans, it makes no difference, because that's what
absolutely. Just because you would love to carpool and all that, but logistics don't always work, and this is one of those things where the needs are the needs. So regardless of the logistics, whether it's convenient or not convenient, we still have to do it that way because that's what's needed. And so your support would be very helpful.
One more thing is before we continue with this, our group, we run off about a $70,000 right now before this gas increase is going. Our insurance is about $27,000. And with 10 vans, it's hard to get drivers.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm asking people, if you have a spare day of the month, a spare day of the week, you have no DWIs or speeding tickets, We would love to see you. It doesn't matter if you're male or female, veteran or not.
You just got to be able to drive a vehicle.
You just have to be able to drive. You don't need a CDL.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's just a passenger van,
Just
like a 15-passenger van, something along that size.
And believe me, we are hurting for drivers again.
So if you'd love to volunteer and, maybe, come golf here in June financially, but get a hold of Emmanuel here and let's say, I can do a day a week, or I can do 2 days a week, or I can do 4 days a month, or whatever it is that you're available. That would be great. And here's the cool thing. I know a couple people that do this, and you really meet some great individuals.
Yes,
these veterans. They love to talk with you. Each person's different, but you end up probably making friends, meeting people, and then some people love just being on the road driving. And here, you're doing a great service for people, and you're just out in the open road driving what you love doing anyway. So work that kind of stuff in here. But by coming out and whacking a golf ball around on the golf course here for a few hours on June 4th, or June 4th.
June 4th.
Yeah,
that's correct.
In my head, I started thinking 7th. But anyway, if that is very much helpful here for this, because like we were saying, the expense, the insurance, the cost. I know you need volunteer drivers, but without the finances, and I imagine you guys have 10 vans. You probably could use 10 more to meet the need, right?
Well, we try to keep ourselves small.
I know you can't afford to have 10 more,
No.
but as far as the demand and need, if you had the drivers and the money, you could probably use 10 more vans, and they all be working heavy, getting folks to and from their vet. There's no lack of need of veterans needing what I'm trying to say, transport, and assistance. So, but for the golfing, what's it's 4-person teams. What's all the let's tickle the golfers' ivories with the rules and all that good stuff here. What's some of the rules for the tournament?
It'd be a 4-person scramble.
Okay.
On that, and then the first 25 teams paid.
Okay.
All the paperwork in that is at the Institute Pro Shop.
You can
there.
sign right up at the
You can
NMMI
sign
Pro
up
Shop
right there.
Yes, sir.
Also, and there's also sponsorship sheets out there. So if you're out there listening and you have a few extra $100 or $100 or $50 or whatever, the vets could sure use it in this golf tournament.
Absolutely, and of course, I'm sure if you love to get involved but you don't have 3 friends, go to the pro shop, and I'm sure he probably is putting together a few teams of hodgepodge of folks like, I got me and one other. We want to sign up for a team, and so they'll help make. So if you don't have 3 others, don't worry. Go to the pro shop and say, hey, put me on a team, put me together, and of course they'll do handicaps, and the pro. That's what the pro does. He does his magic and decides who gets in what groups and all that good stuff. But come on out if you'd like to sponsor. That's a great way to, if like you said, some of our businesses that they do great stuff supporting the Elks and supporting the Veterans Transport Network here, but. We can always use more and need more. So if you'd like to sponsor a tea, probably like a tea sponsor or a whole sponsor, I imagine there's various opportunities to do that.
Yes.
But here's the thing, we're just a hair over a month away, or about a month. No, it's not the 4th yet. So just a hair a month away. If you want to give these guys time to get the signage, do all the things that's required that you get as being a sponsor, don't wait. Reach out to these guys this week.
Sooner the better.
And get that done. So, if folks are interested in being a sponsor, what's the best way to reach out and get a hold of you guys?
You can get a hold of the Elks Lodge. You can get a hold of me and give them my telephone number. It's 575-626-4688.
Okay.
And just leave me a message because I get a lot of junk calls too. So if you leave me a message, I will definitely get back with you.
Absolutely. And I imagine too, you guys, does the Roswell Elks here have a Facebook page or something locally that if people can reach out to if they have any questions or anything? Or social media of anything or something like that?
If we do, I don't know that.
Okay. I didn't know if,
Mike,
I haven't, I'm trying to think if I've seen one in the past there or not, but
yeah.
I don't believe so. But I know the veterans folks have something out there, and
Yes,
you could definitely go through that channel if you're like, hey, I heard on the radio, I'm interested in being a sponsor or something, or I want to get involved, and I'm sure the Veterans Transport will get those that information to the Elks here and get that information to them. So, want to get people sign up, get as many, like you said, it's limited to 25 teams. The sooner the better you sign up here, And again, this money's going to our New Mexico Veterans Transportation
100%
network here in Roswell. And of course, I imagine some of the drivers and things, they're probably playing some holes too. If you get a chance to meet these guys, talk to them, ask them what the experience is like. And I'll tell you, you're going to be like, yeah, I could do this. Even, and because you really made some great people. And I would even say, obviously, of age to drive, but some younger folks looking maybe this summer to do some stuff.
We would accept that. Yes.
I'm telling you, you're going to have an hour or two road trip with some people that have seen the world and chewed a lot of dirt in this planet. If you can sit there and talk and just listen to their stories and talk to them, there's so much valuable information that you can gain from talking to your seniors and your veterans. And I think as a young college kid this summer, going and driving veterans around to Texas, Albuquerque, wherever they got to go, you're going to make a lot of connections and learn a lot. And I think you're going to have a lot of life lessons that you just learn by default that are going to serve you well the rest of your life, because there's a lot of wisdom you're taking around these various doctor appointments around the state. And I think you're going to gain as much out of the experience as the person you're helping. So that's just my 2 cents on that,
And we appreciate that.
Let's talk Elks a little bit. If folks are interested in becoming members of the Elks, I'm sure you're always looking for some new members to become a part of the organization here.
Mike, we have another initiation coming up on the 21st of this month. We have grown now to in excess of 600 members now.
Good.
We dropped off during the pandemic. It's back. We're opened up. We've got Sergio back as our cook, and we've got Sean back as our bar manager. And we are just, it's getting the old people back.
Nice.
And it's very, very, very nice.
So if you leave hungry,
enjoy coming out. Yeah.
Good deal. So come be a part, learn. What's the best way to if someone's interested in becoming an Elk, and would just come out to the lodge one day?
Come out to the lodge. Somebody's there always after 11 o'clock, except for Mondays and Sundays. But somebody's there, and we can get you an application and get you approved, and just come in and be part of us.
Yeah.
We would love to have that.
And of course, obviously, it's a service organization. That's what you guys working in. And like we said earlier, kids and veterans are kind of your two tentpole causes that you like to support. But it's as much a social thing as it is that, and that's what we want to focus on too. If you're looking to meet some new people and to broaden your social circle, maybe make some friends and have a laugh and a drink or a meal or two with folks and stuff.
You bet.
This is what the Elks is all about too. It's just as much the mental health side, and to be honest, we could use some more camaraderie and people hanging out and just being
as
human
you
to
mentioned,
each other.
we're a service organization, and we're here to help the community.
Mm-hmm.
And we enjoy doing that. We've got a great bunch of officers.
Anything in the works in the near future over the summer? Any plans we want to leak out yet, or as far as things you're working on?
We have a Mother's Day event coming up here that we're, if you can bring your wives or mothers out, mother-in-laws. But Saturday, we will have a dinner for the mother's steak and shrimp dinner.
Okay.
Which will be a special to them, and they'll get a flower as they come in. And
nice.
Something that we try to do for moms and dads and whoever else we can.
So especially your Elks members, calling on out. If you're not taking care of your mom this weekend, you better get to the Elks Lodge, or you're in trouble. Or your spouse.
Or your spouse.
That works two ways. The mother of your kids or your mother, however that works. And of course, if you're interested in becoming a member of the Elk, that might be a good event to come by and say, hey, I heard on the radio I'd love to start the process of becoming an Elk.
Somebody there to sign them in and enjoy the evening with us.
Very good.
Yeah.
And of course, I imagine while you're there on Sunday, if you want to learn more about the golf tournament and the Veterans Transportation Network, you can put them in touch with Maglier or get them set up for that.
Craig.
That lodge is up on North Montana.
Okay.
Just if there's somebody driving through or whatever. So.
North Montana seems the official place for lodges and things, American Legion and Adult Center, all the stuff's right out there, and that Yucca Center, all that stuff's right out there. So you got plenty of help in there. You're going to bump into something on that side. There'll be plenty of people that help you there too. Megal, as far as veterans transportation, what's the best way to reach out to you for folks that are interested in becoming a volunteer or supporting financially or any way wanting to get involved with the transportation network?
Well, number one is that our phone number is 575-622-0729.
Okay.
You'll speak to Miss Alice Wood.
Okay.
She's the lady in charge of everything there.
Okay.
I'm just the head.
You're the head. She's the shoulder that turns you and puts you in the direction you need to go to.
All that's needed really is a driving record.
Okay.
Bring a driving record to us. We're located at 2114 West 2nd Street.
Okay.
Right across the street from Honda.
Okay.
The Honda dealership.
Yes, right there on 2nd.
Yes, and if you just want to drive one day, guys, girls, kids, anybody, with a driver's license, and you have a yen to do something that it'll be the best time you never get paid for.
Yeah, that's what
I've done this for 10 years, since 2010. And I'm a volunteer ever since. I've never received any compensation.
Was I pretty close earlier when I was talking about the wisdom of these folks that you're taking around and things? I imagine you yourself have conversation with these vets, and there's stuff you can't put a measurable how important that is on it, but it is. It's so it's there's so many things in life that you learn by osmosis, things, things, life lessons, things, and I think there's as much of that going on in that van as there is just taking a person to a doctor's appointment. You know what I mean? And so I would highly recommend, like Magel's saying, if you only do one day a week or one day a month or whatever, or one day, we'd love to have whatever that is. But I think what's going to happen is you're going to do it one time, and you're like, that was fun, and next thing you know, I'll do it again next week, or I'll do it again 2 days from now. Or next thing you know, you're on a regular rotation and you're doing a couple days a week or whatever you can, what time allows you to do. But I'm telling you, this is one of the easiest services, greatest services you can do with minimal effort on your part, really.
And I'd like to interject that our Southeast New Mexico Veterans Transportation Network would not be alive without the Elks, without Crumlin, the Crumlin Auto Dealerships, and all the others that support us.
Yeah.
And without them, we wouldn't have our veterans. We would have them dying.
Yeah.
Literally, honestly, they would be dying.
And let's face it, being a veteran myself, I know some of us are a little stubborn, and you're right, because they won't seek out the help. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know what it is. If it's I'm okay, I'm independent, I don't need help, and so sometimes veterans, unless you physically tell them, you will get in this van right now and I'm going to take you to Albuquerque to get this done, they're not so receptive to it. So you're right. If nothing else, sometimes you're that person that says, no, I know what you're doing. We're going to make you do it anyway, because that's
people bring in their husbands and wives and boyfriends and girlfriends.
Veterans are a stubborn group. I ain't gonna lie. We're some bullheaded individuals.
Thank you.
Anytime. Is there anything we missed that I wanted to cover here? Any information? Anything about the Veterans Transportation or Elks Lodge in general that we want to get the word out there while we got you here?
I can give you a mailing address for any sponsorship money that are out there that just can mail us a check in.
Okay.
You can mail it to the Roswell Elks Lodge, 969, P.O. Box 1678, Roswell, New Mexico, and just make it a check payable to the Elks Veterans Golf Tournament.
There you go. Yeah, you can earmark it directly for that.
Yeah, any amount you can spare, we would appreciate.
Yeah, it's $1, $100, $1 million, $1,000. Like I said, their goal is to try to get $30,000 to help them continue their operating budget here and keep going.
I think we supply about 70%, 65% of their budget.
Wow.
Just this tournament.
Yeah, I know
That's what we're wanting.
Between you guys and this with this tournament, and of course Crumlin helping out with the vans and things, that, like you said earlier, without those two entities involved, there would be no Veterans Transportation Network, and there wouldn't be, and who knows where these vets how would they get to their appointments and things like that. It's one of these things that this is one of those organizations that it's just so much ground level work happening there. It's we got great organizations and charities in our community that do big things and all that, but really it's really just a grassroots bunch of people that want to help veterans, and all the money raised is literally for that. There's no United Ways or big grants or nothing coming out supporting this. It's just some businesses and some organizations that said they're doing great work and I want to be a part of that.
And not one penny comes from the federal government.
There you go.
We will not accept any money or anything from the federal government.
Well, I would imagine that gives you the freedom to do what you want.
Because if we
it comes with a big fat string.
If we do accept anything, then they have the right to tell us what to do.
Doesn't come with strings, it comes with ropes.
We are the only veterans transportation network operating as we do in the nation. We are unique in that manner, in how we run and how we do our business.
I think you all need to share your business model and get this going in other parts of the country.
We
That's
tried.
what I think.
We had one up in Taos that went through, but they couldn't find the funding.
I was it wasn't stubborn veterans again, was it? We tend to get stubborn. Well, guys, thank you very much. I appreciate this. And folks, come on out, be a part. Again, it's June 4th. It's going to be at the New Mexico Military Institute Golf Course. 4-person teams, 8 p.m. or 8 a.m. start. You start at 8 p.m. That'd be a little. That'd be an interesting take. 8 in the morning here. Again, sign up. Your teams are individually at the New Mexico Military Institute Pro Shop there. And, of course, reach out to the Elks here if you'd like to be a sponsor or sponsor either a hole or tee box or title sponsor, whatever it is. You give us enough money, we'll put your name everywhere.
Yep. That's true. Yeah.
Everywhere.
But get on the stick on that one. Do that this week so these guys can get all the things that you're entitled to as a sponsor to do that. And again, we want to thank everyone for supporting it and continuing to support. And if you're interested in becoming, maybe if you're thinking I love what the veterans are doing, but I'm broke, I ain't got no money. You know what? But you got time. Guess what? You can help us out that way too by getting in there and taking a route once a week or times a month or whatever it is.
One more thing. I had a veteran. I was washing a van one day, and this man walks up. He says, "Sir, I'd like to drive for you." I said, "Wonderful.
I'd love to have you drive for us."
I said, "But let me ask you, have you had any violations, speeding?" He said, "No." I said, "How about DWIs?" He said, "Well, I've had a couple of them, but I wasn't too drunk when I was arrested."
Oh, well, in that case.
We didn't.
Sorry, that disqualified.
That did.
Yeah.
Mike, we want to thank you for having us on and being able to
Thank you, Mike.
tell us
Anytime.
about this.
Anytime. And if we can, anytime we can get you guys on to talk to transportation too, I know Elks and all that, but even if it's separate from that and you want to get on needing drivers or whatever, let us know. Or maybe we can spotlight a few drivers. I'd love to see, maybe get a driver or two that wants to spend a morning or spend a couple minutes with us, talking a little bit about their experience and stuff. I think that would be kind of fun.
Maybe, could I have a card?
Yeah, I'll get you a card here. I got a whole wall of stuff out there.
Okay.
Sounds great.
Thank you, gentlemen. And again, folks, sign up for the golf tournament. Go whack a ball around and have some fun on June 4th, all helping veterans here in Southeast New Mexico. That's what it's all about. Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate you. We'll see you next time.
Thank you very much.
All right. It is 9:46. Let me play some news and commercials to pay for my lunch. We'll be back. Don't go away.
Now for your Pecos Valley News Update, I'm Jared Sorello. Thanks for joining us. Our top story, the city of Roswell is looking for citizens to serve the community by applying to fill multiple vacancies on its boards and commissions. The members of these boards and commissions are appointed by the mayor with the advice and consent of the city council. Boards that have vacancies include the Airport Advisory Commission, the Cemetery Board, the Commission on Aging, and Keep Roswell Beautiful. A pavement maintenance project that will improve certain streets in Roswell's Ward 2 is scheduled to start today. The contractor anticipated to work weekdays from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. The work areas will be closed to through traffic, but access accommodations will be in place for residents, including the availability of parking on side streets. The project is divided into sections along Western Briar Road, Northwood Drive, and Park Drive. You're up to date. That's a look at local news headlines. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
Your morning espresso starts right here. It's the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
R. Kelly has never lifted a finger, never said a word, really, to fight back against the record-high illegal immigration that greatly impacted the state of Arizona. We see in Nevada that we have Adam Laxalt is surging, and polls show that he's going to win that race. That'll be a pickup seat if Republicans can win that seat. There's no way Beto Bozo, now the same guy that said that he's, hell yeah, we're going to take away your AK-47s. No, I'm very pro Second Amendment. I'm very pro, we can't end Title 42. It's all election year lying. Yeah, we used to call it election year conversions, but it's election year lying is what it is.
The Sean Hannity Show from coast to coast later today.
Cards issued by Celtic Bank, member FDIC.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's credit cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp's software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 3.3% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp for free. Just go to ramp.com/join. Ramp.com/join. ramp.com/join.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Still pretty warm today, but we do have a cold front edging in from the northeast, and that'll bring us gusty wind and lots of sunshine. Our high will stay in the upper 80s, and that wind gusting at 30 to 35 miles per hour through the day. Some clouds for the overnight hours, down to a low of 60 and windy, and then we're back up to the 90-degree mark on Wednesday, sunny and breezy. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
It's time for the Chaves County Sports Report. Yesterday we told you about the baseball situation with the playoffs fast approaching later on this week. How about softball? Well, both Roswell and Goddard are in the playoffs. Roswell, not too much of a surprise in Class 5A. The Coyotes got the 16th seed. Roswell is 16-10 overall and have a couple of victories over 7th-seeded Hobbs. They'll be taking on Rio Rancho in Rio Rancho Friday at 3 o'clock. The Rams are 18-8. This is an elimination game after this opening round. Then it turns into a double elimination state tournament. Goddard, that's a bit of a surprise. 8-18 overall, but Goddard gets the 13th seed in Class 4A. They'll be at number 4 Lovington, which is 19-7. That starts at 1 o'clock Saturday afternoon. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. Financial markets expect the Fed to announce a significant hike in short-term interest rates in a bid to rein in inflation. The Fed could raise its benchmark rate by a 0.5 percentage point, the sharpest rate hike since 2000. Word is due tomorrow. In earnings news, BP posting its highest quarterly profit in more than a decade, thanks to surging oil and gas prices. $6.2 billion profit in the first quarter, up from $2.6 billion the same period last year. Sales of Pfizer's COVID vaccine and treatment pushed the drug maker well past expectations in the first quarter. Profits grew 61%. Hong Kong's economy shrank 4% compared with a year earlier in the first quarter after the Chinese territory shut businesses to fight a spike in coronavirus infections. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
May the 4th be with you. Register for upcoming summer and fall classes at ENMU Roswell on Wednesday, May 4th in a Student Services Center on campus. Advisors can help you get registered and answer questions about financial aid and other support services. Enjoy snacks and prize giveaways, and may the 4th be with you. For more information, call 575-624-7294. Log on to roswell.enmu.edu.
If you need a Kubota that works and plays hard, stop looking. You'll find everything you need at Amigo Machinery. When it comes to tough Kubota tractors, mowers, construction equipment, and utility vehicles, all with low-rate financing, Amigo Machinery is your one-stop shop. We are passionately committed to providing our customers with the highest quality products, most innovative solutions, and services delivered with integrity and professionalism. Stop by Amigo Machinery in Roswell or see us online at amigo-machinery.com.
What's better than Rib Crib's slow smoked ribs? More of them, that's what. Rib Crib presents Rib Fest. We're talking endless slow smoked righteous ribs, plus unlimited sides and bottomless refills, all for only $17.99 after 4 p.m. Choose from Rib Crib's original signature rub or go sweet and sticky. Plus all your favorite sides like coleslaw, mac and cheese, sweet and smoky beans, and so much more. It's a rib-tastic celebration you can really sink your teeth into. Rib Fest starting at 4 p.m. all month long at Rib Crib on North Main in Roswell. Smoking the good stuff since 1992.
Bob Reed Pest Control protects you and your home by controlling pests that invade. Bob Reed Pest Control understands the importance of safety in and around your home from unwanted pests. Protect your family's most important investment, your home, and protect your children and pets from the dangers of poisonous bugs and insects. Call Bob Reed Pest Control today and let our fully licensed pest control professionals start working for you and your family. Find us fast in names and numbers. Call 623-5344, serving all of Southeast New Mexico.
The Spring River Zoo in Roswell presents the Butterfly Exhibit. Make plans to flutter by the Spring River Zoo for the new Butterfly Garden. Learn about the life of a butterfly and what plants help them thrive. Admission is free Saturday, May 7th and is always free the first Saturday each month for Roswell residents. Spring River Zoo is open 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. daily. Flutter on down for the fun at the all-new Butterfly Garden at the Spring River Zoo, 1306 East College in Roswell. Learn more at springriverzoo.com.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too, and that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. But our part-time service in the Army National Guard means we get to be more. When our communities are in need, we get the chance to stand up and do something about it. We get to serve in our own region and help the people we call neighbors. Whether they are in the mountains of New Mexico, the plains of Nebraska and Kansas, the ranches of Oklahoma and Texas, the farmlands of Missouri and Arkansas, or the bayous of Louisiana, we are here for our hometowns. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
A Greek-Canadian man invented the Hawaiian pizza. His name was Tex Colorado, and he was from Detroit. Here's Mike Winters.
There's a new one. There was one earlier, too.
Although I did notice it didn't start out with a Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact.
It didn't?
I didn't hear it start it that way. I think it just started with the fact.
Okay.
I could be wrong. I might have to go back and re-listen.
I don't know either.
Either way.
I don't know either. Now you got me all mentally like, what? Let me see if I can play that one again.
I don't think it'll play back.
A Greek-Canadian man invented the Hawaiian pizza. His name was Tex Colorado, and he was from Detroit. Here's Mike Winters.
The fact is there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I forgot. Maybe
the steak is there. It's fine.
Oh, well.
Who needs a sizzling steak?
I'm going to let it go.
I'm just poking the bear.
You know what? We're going to call that the Mike Winters Cool Kids Club knowing.
Ooh, look at that.
Like
if you know that fun fact, then you're in the club.
And there's going to be a bunch more just like it. I don't think I did it with any of them. Now that I think about it, I think I brain farted that and just sent him off to have him do the facts with my back toys.
Maybe this starts a whole new era of
I think I'm going to do that.
Mornings with Mike Winters Fun Facts, where we don't warn you about the fact. We just hit you in the head, over the head with the fact.
We'll call it the sort of cool kids club.
And then the ones that start with here's a Mornings with Mike Winters Fun Fact, those will become the anomaly.
The Sweet and Smoky Beans Club.
The Sweet and Smoky Beans.
Where's all my sweet and smoky beans out there?
I'm a fan. I love me some sweet and smoky beans. You know what I wish? I wish the sides were a little bit bigger.
Oh, you're saying like list generally?
No, I'm saying at this place that we're discussing.
Oh, rib crib.
Okay, fine, rib crib.
They're advertising.
Because I didn't want to have a criticism with an advertising.
I get.
But I feel like that if their sweet and smoky beans would be delicious if it weren't like 3 spoonfuls of beans for me.
You want more beans?
I want more bean.
Well, go for it. Tell them. Say, I want more beans.
I need a larger side of your beans. Although we can get 2 sides, so I should just double up on the sweet and smoky beans.
Although, you know what? I get what you're saying, like, globally. Like, maybe. Because, let's face it, main courses of meals are always the star of the show.
Sure.
We're having steak. We're having burgers. But how many of us are like, dude, I want 8 pounds of scalloped potatoes. Or I want all the mac and cheese that they've got. Or I want the baked bean. You know what I mean? I'm kind of like, we sleep on some of these.
I have argued with my friends that we should have a sides giving this year.
I would be down with that.
No mains, just sides.
I would be down with that.
Green bean casseroles.
I would be down with that.
Coleslaws. Yeah, I think it'd be awesome.
My only caveat would be slip meat in like your green beans.
Like some turkey into your...
if you're going to be green beaning it, you got to smoke it up with some bacon or
I feel
some
like
meat.
that robs itself from the purity of the sides giving.
I don't know. I think it adds to it.
You're complicating my sides giving.
I'm just saying.
You're mucking up my works, man.
I would work in a little protein.
I've always been more of a sides fan than a mains fan myself.
Yeah. I'm just saying maybe, because all these sides for Thanksgiving work because of giblet gravy.
True.
You can't have giblets without the turkey.
You could have gravy.
Yeah, but not giblet gravy.
Sure.
And this is what goes with Thanksgiving.
Okay. Maybe get yourself a nice can of giblets. I don't know. There's bound to be a canned giblet gravy out there somewhere.
I would.
Of all the canned foods I've seen over just the last 4 hours,
he's been studying.
I've been in this weird wormhole of canned foods.
Yeah, canned products.
I have a weird craving for canned Hormel tamales.
He's got a goal. We got to go, but he's got a whole goal of pumping me up with canned meats.
That's right.
I don't know why.
I think we're gonna make it happen. We got to go.
We're not even talking Vienna sausage. We're talking level 10 times that.
Hardcore.
All right. Have an amazing day. Thanks for allowing us to be a part of it. We'll be back bright and early, 7 a.m. tomorrow with an all-new show. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.